Hello, you're listening to the Talk of Spirit Animecast. My name is Andrew, and I'm joined here with Chris.
Yo.
And today's episode is our spring 2021 anime season preview. Yes, it's time already to jump in the new season. We're going to say goodbye to winter right now, right? Don't need to finish Mushoku, don't need to finish Wonder Egg Party, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're going to go through the shows of the season coming up. All the new shows first, all the returning series, then into the shorts, which is just basically one. Talk about some OVAs and movies that are coming as well, what continued shows that we have, and then say goodbye to everybody. And then each one of these ones, we'll go through the name of it, the possible English title, that's pretty much still up in the air, what will be an English title. What the synopsis is. I will butcher it to hell, so I'm just giving a pre-warning so people don't have to worry about, telling me that I butchered it. Talk about the studio that's working on it, the source material, and then possible people that are working on it that could be interesting to people, which is always kind of one of the more fascinating things that I find in doing this, even though it's the most time-consuming part of it. So, are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
We should probably just jump right into it, because as usual, with lately, there's way too many shows. Every season, there's more and more shows. And this one's like really crazy. I'm actually really scared. As a content creator for anime, I am extremely terrified at the moment because what I'm, of course, going to try to do is get at least first impressions of all these shows, get videos put up for them, and it's going to be crazy because, of course, at the same time that we're doing previews or the first impressions of the season, we're still technically reviewing the previous season, so I think at least starting next week, because Mushoku is, I think, the first one that ends, Mushoku Tensei, and that's ending on Sunday, so beginning on Sunday, it's going to be a lot of stuff to do. So I hope that people enjoy it. There's going to be a lot of content for people to look at, possibly shows that you missed, and that's always a good thing, right?
I don't know. I counted some 45 shows, so
please don't remind me that there's 45 shows. Oh man. Anyways, we should probably get started.
And that was not counting the ones that are ongoing. I didn't even think about the ongoing.
There's only like 2, and you're not even watching one of them. You're not watching either of them.
No.
Because Back Arrow and what was the other one?
No, Spider.
Oh yeah, Spider. So you're watching Spider. I'm sorry, you're correct. You have one show to watch.
I am not letting go of my Spider. I like Spider.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad that is going to core because it's just finally getting good.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it wasn't good before, just it's getting better, I guess. It's a better way to put it. So yeah, I'm going to record a video version of this and put it up on YouTube. Hopefully it works out. I guess we'll find out. You'll know by now, by the time this is recording and post it up. But hopefully this works out well. This is like a first time doing this kind of thing. So it's my first time. Be gentle. So yeah, let's jump into it. We have our first one is Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, or Iji Ran Nagatoro-san. This one is Nagatoro is a freshman in high school who loves teasing and torturing her older male classmate. Her alternative motive and why does Senpai put up with her? Does Nagatoro just want to create misery for Senpai, or maybe she secretly likes him? This one's being done by Telecom Animation Film. The source is a manga. The genres are comedy, romance, slice of life. And the nice thing about this one so far, at least from the trailer that I've seen, is she's totally pulling off this character, and that is Sumire Uesaka. And she's, of course, been doing a lot of kind of side characters, and she does a lot of music as well. And like I said, she's totally pulling off this character, and a lot of fans of Nagatoro are pretty much in agreement that she's pulling this off. So the series composition will be done by Taku Kishimoto, who did Erased, 91 Days, Fruits Basket, Silver Spoon, and Bunny Drop. So solid stuff there. Nothing director-wise or anything, and the creator themselves is not really too known. But yeah, your thoughts? I know this is probably going to be your pick of the season, your gem.
I don't know. I haven't really gone through the rest of the list yet, but yeah, this is easily one of the ones that I've been waiting for a long time. I really really want to watch this one so bad, and I'm
Yeah.
already excited about it just watching the PV.
Overly pervy and teasing girl cannot be ignored by Chris. But the funny thing, and I haven't really confirmed this, and I've only heard it from one person. I'm very curious as to this. Is they're mentioning that what the show starts out as isn't what it turns into. So all I can really gather from that, and I could be totally wrong. So just don't take this for 100%. Is that apparently, I guess that teasing, overly pervy nature is just a starting point, and then maybe later on it changes focus. I don't know. It's just
I
what
don't
they
know.
were implying, but like I said, it was only one person that said that.
Some of the latter clips, it almost looks like she's kind of bullying him, but at the same time, I mean that might be a part of the shtick. So I mean, I and going by what you were saying in the in the synopsis, that makes sense. I mean, if she is just teasing him and just kind of bullying him to keep his attention on her, that makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely seem like possibly one of those. Maybe she. And I mean, it's obviously probably going to turn into one of those things where she really does like him. But I guess the question is how quickly does it go into that whole nature? So cool stuff, though. Cool stuff.
And
cool stuff.
the only reason I even mentioned the whole bullying thing is because the two friends that she has with her, that kind of is a gang up thing that kind of don't much care for, but we'll see. I'm like I said, I'm super excited about this, especially the artwork kind of gives me the vibes of the other girl that we watched a couple seasons ago. Plus the concept is very much like teasing Master Takagi-san. There's so much that I'm really really excited about for this.
Yeah. Cool stuff. Moving on. Again, that's Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. Moving on, we have To Your Eternity. This one's kind of been one that I've been kind of waiting on for quite a while now. This one is Fumetsu no Anata E, or To Your Eternity. This one is a lonely boy wandering the Arctic region of North America meets a wolf, and the two become fast friends, depending on each other to survive the harsh environment. But the boy has a history, and the wolf is more than meets the eye as well. This is being done by Studio Brainspace. The source is a manga, and the creator is, of course, Yoshitoki Oima, who did A Silent Voice. The genres are adventure, drama, fantasy, psychological. It will be streaming on Crunchyroll, because they pretty much had this. I guess I can start getting into this joke already, but I almost feel like Crunchyroll listened to us, and now they're like, look, we're getting more licenses, because this season they do have quite a bit of licenses. Yeah, the other thing that I noticed that I'm really kind of excited for, and I think I noticed this in our discussion when we talked about this getting adapted, and they announced the voicing roles. But Kinjiro Suda is going to be playing the Beholder, which if you've actually read the manga, you'll know who the Beholder is, and it's going to be a perfect. If you ask me who needs to be the Beholder, I'd be like, yeah, this guy. This guy totally needs to be the Beholder, and I'm kind of excited to see him. I didn't really care for the Beholder in the actual manga, so now I'll actually look forward to the Beholder. But no, based on the key art, it's kind of confirming the thing that I was curious about, which for those that read the manga, I got to the part where they were on the island and they were just finishing up. I think they were just finishing up the island art, and I was kind of slipping away by that point. By that point, I started kind of losing interest in the story overall. I kind of really like what they're doing with the series of the story, what she's doing with the story, but it started kind of losing me at some point. I guess the formula of it was starting to lose me, but I'm kind of hoping the anime will kind of re-spark my love for the series, because I really do really do like a silent voice, and I know that she can pull off emotion perfectly. So, is it she or he? Might be a he. I don't know.
I don't remember.
But yeah, I'm super excited. It looks like Brain's Base is doing a good job. The animation looks fantastic. So, how about you? Did you touch the manga at all?
Yeah, I got through the first core, if you want to call it that, or the first section. I liked it in concept. So yes, I know who the Beholder is and all that stuff. The problem is that I lost interest very quickly when I got to the next part, which it's not it's not that I don't think that she has a very strong writing ability. It's just that I wasn't compelled enough to keep going on the story. Does that make sense? So I really do want to give this a really solid chance, and maybe having it as an anime will help get through a lot of it. So we'll see.
Yeah, it does get a little brutal, and I know that is a problem for Chris. But again, that's To Your Eternity, Fumitsu no Anata e. Definitely excited for that one. Next one we have is Higehiro. I shaved my beard, then picked up a high school girl, or Hige wo Soro Soshite Joshikose wo Hiro. This one, Yoshida was swiftly rejected by his crush of 5 years. On his way home after drinking his sorrows away, he saw a high school girl sitting on the street. I'll let you do it with me, so let me stay. Don't even joke about things like that. And so the story of living with the high school girl Sayu began. The slice of life romance story between a runaway high school girl and a 26-year-old salaryman ensues. This is like, because I think there's at least one other one. This is like the season of romantic older gentleman gets with high school girl. I don't know if it's a thing of spring or what. I know there's a lot of romance this season. But yeah, it's a little weird. Not to say that, I understand that that's having a crush is a thing, but it does make you start wondering, especially like if there's a significant age gap. So, yeah, the project number 9 is going to be animating it. Drama, romance, slice of life is the genres. The source is a light novel, and the series composition is being done by Hitomi Miueno, who did Snow White with the Red Hair, Amanchu, and Flying Witch, as well as Noragami. So, really good series composition person, for sure. What do you think? This is going to be like super controversial. Are you ready for the controversy?
No, I think it'll probably be too easy. It's not gonna. They're not brave enough.
When was too easy ever a preventative?
They're not brave enough.
It's already dead. Don't kick it. It's already dead. It's too easy. It's already dead. Yeah, she is definitely cute.
She is.
That's some good character designs for sure. She would be definitely a temptress for sure. Moe kawaii, kind of a mixture of moe and kawaii for sure.
I'd be more concerned about what looks like a garu a little bit later. I think she's probably gonna.
Oh, she's totally gonna try to get in on action.
Yep, she's gonna tease.
She's gonna be the temptress. The garu has to be the temptress. But I'm totally just drawing like conclusions here. You know that she's totally gonna be like the promiscuous one, but she's actually never done anything like that.
Oh yeah, I'm
she's
sure.
She's actually very pure. She's actually very, very pure. She just puts on a facade.
Well, what I'm curious of is the direction that I see this going in is okay. New girl on the side of the street brings her in. We've got the person at work who obviously turned him down, suddenly realizing at some point that he's with her, and that's going to make her decide that she actually wants him after all. So it's gonna get
That sounds very familiar, Chris. Sing Yesterday for Me, maybe? Are you going for Sing Yesterday for Me?
I don't know.
Maybe. Again, that's Higehiro. I shaved my beard, then picked up a high school girl. Check that one out if that sounds interesting to you. Moving on, we have Tokyo Ravengers. This one's got a couple people chiming about it on media that I've seen, but Takemichi Hanagaki is a freelancer that reached the absolute pits of despair in his life. He finds out that the only girlfriend he ever had in his life that he dated in middle school, Hinata Tachibana, had been killed by a ruthless Tokyo Manji gang. Jumping back and forth between Japanese and English gets me sometimes. The day after hearing about her death, he's standing on the station platform and ends up being pushed over onto the tracks by a herd of people. He closes his eyes, thinking he's about to die, but when he opens his eyes back up, he's somehow gone back in time 12 years. Now that he's been back living the best days of his life, Takemichi decided to get revenge on his life by saving his girlfriend and changing himself that he's been running away from. Sounds actually pretty cool. I can see why people are excited for this.
I see a clip of the live action up in the top corner, and it's like, I actually caught the guy's tattoos on his head pretty good.
Leading films will be doing it. The sources of manga and the genres are action, drama, romance, supernatural, and this is possibly streaming on Crunchyroll. I know that the synopsis was pulled from Crunchyroll, so I'm not sure if they just posted it or if they are actually going to be streaming it. So we'll see. That's not a confirmed. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. I mean, that's a solid synopsis. The visuals look okay, and possibly could be a pretty cool little story. We don't get many like gang stories.
Yeah, it's interesting artwork. I'd be interested to see where they're planning on going with this one. So I'm curious about it. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right, that's again Tokyo Revengers. Moving on, we have I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level, or slime Taoshite 300 nen shira nai uchi ni level max ni nate mashita. I guess would be a better way of saying it. They like to throw those in quickly. An at-home comedy about a powerful girl who doesn't work too hard. After dying of overwork in the real world... That's a really weird sentence to put right next to each other. An at-home comedy about a powerful girl who doesn't work too hard. After dying of overwork...
Well, no,
I know it means later.
Yeah.
I know it means later, but if you don't know that, the synopsis makes zero sense.
It makes perfect sense to me. What are you talking about?
It makes sense when you read the rest of it that you know it's about her later saying that she's, doesn't work too hard later, but she before died. Anyways, after dying over work in real world, I'm reincarnated as an immortal witch, and I spend 300 years enjoying a relaxing life. At some point, though, I ended up leveling to 99. All those years spent killing slimes to make the money to pay the bills gave me tons of experience points. Rumors of a level 99 witch spread, and soon I'm up to my ears in curious adventures, pretty much lollies probably, based on the key art. Duelists, dragons, and even monsters calling me their mom. This isn't a dojo, so don't come here to fight me. I hate these stupid... I hate these first-person narrative synopsises because I'm talking as the girl. That's weird. I've never been on an adventure, but I'm the strongest in the world. What's going to happen to my relaxing life. I don't know. Watch one of the millions of isekais of overpowered main characters. You'll probably figure out what is going to happen to you. I suggest Kuma 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 Bear. That's probably going to be similar to your situation if you need to know. Studio is Reveroot. Source is a light novel. Genre is adventure, fantasy, slice of life. And this will be streaming on Crunchyroll. So, yeah. This is one that I feel like we've had the announcement for this adaptation like forever ago.
Yeah. This is one of those that goes on the to be announced list that I was talking about earlier. It sits there for years and years, and then suddenly it pops up one season. And it's like, yay! Finally,
it finally pops up. Hey, we animated the first episode. Time to go. It took us a while, but we got it finally. So yeah.
But yeah, this is
good stuff though.
This is definitely one of those that has been on my I really, really, really badly want to watch list. The two lollies look like they're maids or something, or at least they were in that in the house with her when somebody else came to the door.
They have worker outfits. Yeah, they have worker outfits, like an old traditional worker outfit kind of look to them. Their outfits.
So she probably saved them at some point, and they decided to serve her type thing.
Yeah. And it looks like we have a Mao already. We have a dragon, a Mao, two lollies.
Wait. It might be she may have made them as homunculuses or slimes, maybe.
They might be slimes because they have their hair is very round. And their typical slime colors, blue and green.
That's a possibility too. I was going with homunculus.
Spoiler.
I was going with homunculus because she's a witch and she doesn't want to work, so she would summon something like that or create something like that to take work off of her plate. I could see that.
That's true. I could probably see it in a mixture of both. I think she's probably turned the slimes. The slimes were probably hanging out with her, and she turned them into little lolly girls. Yeah. I just don't really ever see much homunculuses in kind of happy Japanese stories. You only really see homunculuses in more darker stories, so I don't know that would be the case of them just being homunculus, but we'll see. We shall see. Again, that is, I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. Check that out on Crunchyroll if that sounds interesting. Oh... This poor director. I was looking into this one and I'm like, oh, this poor guy. Eden's Zero. It's plural. Eden's Zero. 11 months after the grand finale of Fairy Tale, master mangaka Hiro Mashima is back with a great adventure beyond imagination. All the steadfast friendships, crazy fightings, and blue cats you've come to expect in space. A young boy gazes up at the sky and sees a streaming bolt of light. The friendly, armor-clad being at his side tells him gently that's a dragon. Hey, that's a dragon. The fact that he's joking isn't important. What's important is the look of wonder on the boy's face and the galaxy-spanning adventure that's about to take place. Join Hiro Mashima, Fairy Tale's rave master, once more as he takes to the stars for another thrilling manga.
So we've got...
This will be done by Studio JC staff. The sources of manga. The genres are action, adventure, fantasy, sci-fi. Here's the. Are you ready for it, Chris? Have you seen it already?
I'm watching it. I got so much to say right now.
He doesn't know yet. Should I tell him? I should probably not tell him. I'm not going to tell him. I'm going to see how long it takes him to realize it. The director is Shinji Ishihara, who of course did the Fairy Tale series, and of course the creator is Hiro Mashima, who did the Fairy Tale. It's funny. I kind of joke, but it's like I immediately seen the directors, the same one that did Fairy Tale. And I'm thinking, this poor guy. He probably's like, oh, good, Fairy Tale's done. I can go do something else. And they're like, wait, come back. We have this new manga from Hiro. It's another Fairy Tale-esque type looking show, and you're totally gonna do it. It's like, no, I wanted out, and they pulled me back.
Oh, yuck!
Have you seen it yet? There, he's finally seen it. You had to wait till the end screen,
Yeah.
didn't you?
I didn't even look.
Yes,
I didn't
it is
even look
Netflix.
on the streaming down here on your thing. So, ew.
It's like literally on the YouTube channel of
Yeah,
Netflix,
I'm
and
not.
he just
I
realized
I
it.
was I thought I seen the Netflix floating around here and there, but I was
It's like literally in the bottom corner.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
excited about
Sorry.
the Natsu Gajil mix character. I was seeing Lucy's, I was seeing Happy's, and then that's
the thing is
I seen an Ezra, I seen a Wendy. I was all excited about it up until that last thing that popped up. I was like, yay.
Yeah, and I'm curious how it's going to play out because they all look like them, but a lot of the characters in at least, and this might be possible spoilers, so somebody can skip forward if they want. All the characters' names are different.
Well, of course.
They're not named. The only one that's named is Happy. Everybody else has weird names. So, I don't know if it's like an alternative reality, but yeah, they all definitely look like those characters. I mean, the key art has an Ursa, and I immediately spot because Ursa best girl, but
Yeah,
it looks like a lot of fun.
Wendy looks kind of grumpy, so she's gonna have definitely probably a different personality for sure.
Well, it'll kind of be like the what was it, the alternative world to Fairy Tale's world? What was it called?
Wendy's a dual wielder.
Yeah, no longer a weak. Is the crazy blue haired chick that's is that gonna be Aquarius? This crazy like super powerful chick that's sitting on like a asteroid or something is totally gonna be Aquarius. Yeah, Eden Zero. Look forward to that in literally 6 months, possibly if we're
We
lucky.
even got a Plu.
Yeah, there's a Plu in there.
Can't go without Plu.
Yeah, Eden Zero. Check that out if that sounds interesting to you. All right, so let's move on to 86. This one, a war without casualties. The Republic of Magnolia has long been under attack from the neighboring Gadian Empire's army of unmanned drones known as the Legion. After years of painstaking research, the Republic finally developed autonomous drones of their own, turning the one-sided struggle into a war without casualties, or at least that's what the government claims. In truth, there is no such thing as a bloodless war. Beyond the fortified walls protecting the 85 Republic territories lies the non-existent 86 sector. The young men and women of the Forsaken Land are branded the 86 and stripped of their humanity, pilot the unmanned weapons into battle. And they say unmanned in air quotes. So yeah, they're not really unmanned drones. But everybody that they're protecting thinks they are. That's kind of messed up. That is kind of messed up. This one's being done by A1 Pictures. The source is a light novel. The genres are drama, sci-fi. And this one will probably be on Funimation because A1 Pictures and Aniplex and Sony and Funimation. But I mean, now with the buyout, who knows? Now with the buyout, who knows? It could be both Funimation and Crunchyroll. Because that is the weird thing that we've kind of run into is like, technically, this is a case where they're both the same company at this point. Do you think going forward they're just going to license everything to go on both streaming platforms, or are they going to keep it all on Funimation to pull subs to one location?
Probably.
Very interesting.
That's the discussion we were having when we were discussing the concept of it, of what we see in the future, and I really do believe they're just finishing up licenses at this point, and then they're moving forward, going over to one.
Yeah, because I mean, still at this point, a lot of this stuff. I mean, like the slime one. I bet way back, 5 years when we heard that it was being adapted, it was probably licensed at that point because they have to jump in on those and get them licensed early. So licensed.
That goes
I don't know
them getting on the production committees on a lot of these shows. So
yeah, this one looks pretty good. Not a huge fan of the CGI style. It's going more for that kind of very overly detailed, and so it doesn't match the anime aesthetic at all. So it's kind of going back and forth between, here's kind of a very, anime style that's not overly detailed characters to, now suddenly we have, overly detailed battle environment with, shiny mechas running around and shooting each other. So it very much, not Markin. The one that you really hated because everybody was dying in it.
Markin.
Died in it.
Seems like it.
Yeah, I guess it was. But yeah, it kind of has that same thing where it's like, it's a little overly detailed. Maybe worse than that, I would say.
I'm going to be very honest. I love the concept of the war of with no casualties. If they dig into that, that could be one of the most fascinating things that they could do. I don't have a lot of hope in that idea. I think it's going to, like Andrew was saying, they kind of hinted at is it really a war with no casualties? And so it's more than likely it's going to go down the route of something involving
uprising.
So
it's gonna be uprising.
It's kind of disappointing because I think that could be a fascinating thing for them to dig into is how could a war with no casualties actually be played? I mean, we've kind of hinted on it with some shows like Heavy Object, kind of delved into that idea of a war based on two heavy objects and whatever ends up happening. Eventually, people get involved in the war, and because it cannot always be like that, and that's probably where this is going to end up going. But it could be.
Yeah, the arms race is always a thing. It could
always be an interesting concept of how would you deal with a war with no casualties.
Yeah. When it's when it's actually got casualties.
Is Swano doing the music for this?
I didn't see his name. I doubt it. I think if anything's going to have Sawano, it would probably be that Ivy or whatever that one was, the AI one. That seems like with the same usual people that he works with. So, yep, 86. Check that out if that sounds interesting. All right, let's move on to the biggest lie of spring 2021. That one is the rom-com where childhood friend won't lose. The Japanese title is...
Swano is on here.
Osana... Oh, nice. That'll definitely improve it. The Japanese title is Asanana Jimi ga Zettai ni Makenai Love-com. This one is my childhood friend, Shida Kuroha, seems to have feelings for me. She lives next door and is small and cute. With an outgoing character, she's a caring Oni-san type, this being one of her greatest strengths. But I already have my first love, the beautiful idol of our school and the award-winning author high school girl, Kachi Shirokusa. Thinking about it rationally, I should have no chances with her, but while walking home from school, she only talks to me with a smile even. I might actually have the chance, don't you think? Or so I thought. But then I heard that Shirokusa already has a boyfriend, and my life took a turn for the worse. I want to die. Why is it not me? Even though she was my first love, I was drowning in despair and depression, Kuroha whispered, If it's that tough for you, then how about we get revenge? The best revenge ever, that is. Yeah, I already don't even like where that's going. I already don't like where that's going. I'm assuming that's probably one of those things of like, let's make her jealous kind of things. So that means that she's going to get involved with him, and he's going to use her, and she's going to get her heart broken. It's not going to... It's like you've titled it that it's the childhood friend's going to win, but you know how that's going to be. It's going to be one of those things where this is in her mind that she's going to win. Like her determination. That's what the title is. Yeah. It's just no. I almost don't even want to mess with it, just because it's almost like it's saying, hey, Andrew, watch me, but I'm still going to lose.
I thought of the same thing, as like, there's something about this that's not working well. And I think it's really in the fact that they're doing the whole revenge thing. Between the misunderstandings that's going to cause, the lack of communication that's going to cause, if anybody's listened to me for a while, one of my biggest hangups on love comms is usually nobody's talking to each, or not love comedies, because love comedies I don't mind it so much. It's the drama side of some of these shows is usually the nobody's talking to each other, and that irritates the crap out of me. So
that's why I was so excited. Like, I literally yelled out loud excitement when Tomozaki, from bottom tier character Tomozaki, when he literally told her, hey, look, I didn't read the book. I was like, oh my gosh, communication. Communication. Like, he totally could have ran with that, and then it'd be some stupid thing later. But no, communication is amazing.
I am going to give this an honest try, because I do love comedies, and this is this is right up my alley as far as those kinds of shows. But yeah, it's one of those things that the way that this is set up, it should sound like it should work really well, especially because we're suckers for the childhood friend. However, you're setting it up for like I said, misunderstandings, grumping out, because when it comes down to it, he really is in love with this person, and I don't know. It's
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cute lolly though.
It's like it's the synopsis totally like sets it up for like super failure. Like, this is going to blow up in her face. She's gonna be able to be with him finally, and that's, like I said, assuming that it's gonna be a thing of like, let's play that we're together to make her jealous kind of crap, which is
however,
totally gonna be.
One thing I do think.
Do you think that she doesn't actually have a boyfriend?
Probably not.
And that she's doing that, she's doing that in order to either, one, make him not pursue her because she doesn't want to change the relationship, or because I don't think she's going to be a bad girl.
No,
I totally think that the idol girl is going to be the perfect girl still in the end. And so it's going to either be that she's acting like she has a boyfriend to get him to not change their relationship, or she's does actually have a boyfriend, but it's not really serious.
I think that it's probably going to be something where she uses,
or because she wants the childhood friend to win.
No, I was thinking more along the lines of she probably has that as a way to keep guys away from her so that she can focus on her studies type thing.
Yeah, it could be it. I'm kind of thinking it might be because she realized the childhood friend likes him. But you can't really say that you have a boyfriend just for that sake and not have it become the attention of the entire school. So it would be a very much a sacrifice that she would have to take. That'd be pretty huge.
I was kind of hoping that all three of the characters on the box art were going to be childhood friends, just to really box hammer art. It home. Well, I call it box art. The key art.
Talking old media, man. There's no such thing as box art anymore. Everything's digital.
But yeah, I was kind of hoping that they were all three going to be childhood friends, just to hammer home that there is going to be a childhood friend going to win in this.
Yeah, I think we talked about that back when we were first talking about it getting adapted. I think that was one of our theories.
But I do.
That'd be stupid.
I kind of like the idea of the concept of her just being really, really forward, whereas we've never had that in a childhood friend character before. I'm assuming
we
assuming
did,
Blondie,
but it was a ruse.
I'm assuming Blondie is the childhood friend because we've got
Yeah.
She says the
when you think perfect idol Japanese girl, it's black hair that's long.
Yeah.
It's always black hair long.
Right. Well, it was
childhood friend, short hair.
There was a slightly I don't know, a statement here that's kind of misleading, and that led me to believe possibly the lolly character down at the bottom. However, the problem is that it says One-san. Now that means that whoever the main character is a big sister type. So
right, it's gonna be the type that she probably wakes him up every morning, helps him get to school, cooks for him, makes lunch for him. That's what's gonna be the big sister thing.
And that's definitely not the lolly.
Plus, it's hard to be a childhood friend when technically you're still a child.
Yeah, that too.
You basically he is her childhood friend, but she can't be his childhood friend because she wasn't around when he was a child. But who knows? It could be different in Japanese or in anime. The anime does change the laws of physics. But Dogo Kobo's doing it, by the way, which that is another huge win because who can make girls cuter? Dogo Kobo. They definitely pull that stuff off. It's based on a light novel, of course, because the title is extremely long. So, yeah, the rom-com where the childhood friend won't lose, but probably still will lose. Check that out. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for the pain of that kind of stuff. It's just, it hurts me. It hurts me, people. All right, here's an exciting one. The combatants will be dispatched. Or Sentoin Hakenshimasu. This one is, it's tough being on the front lines for an evil organization, and nobody knows this better than number 6, a combatant for the Kisaragi Secret Society. Dispatched to a distant alien world on a reconnaissance mission, he's got a new android partner. And how are you supposed to plan an interstellar invasion of a
She's an
fantasy
android?
Interstellar alien invasion to a fantasy world. That's new. Studio's JC staff. The source is a light novel. The creator, of course, is Natsume Akatsuki, who did Konosuba, or is the creator of Konosuba and Kinomichi Rise Up. Director will be Hiroaki Akagi, who did Hina Logi, Luck and Logic, and TZ Master Takagi-san. And the genres are action, adventure, comedy, ecchi, fantasy, sci-fi, and this will be on Funimation. There's just something really funny about the idea of like these, like the sci-fi meets fantasy through invasion comedy. I think that's just gonna be way funny. And now, granted, okay, Konosuba is a masterpiece. Absolutely fantastic. He did an incredible job with that. That was absolutely hilarious. He didn't do so well with Kimono Michi Rise Up. That was not, for me, and comedy is subjective, so I totally acknowledge that people really loved it. Didn't work for me. So I'm really hoping this will be a return to form for me. And it has all the makings of it. But of course, Kimono Michi had a really great PV and synopsis too. So,
I think the first episode we both found really hilarious. It was the latter episodes that even me, some of it would hit, some of it didn't. So I know that the timing,
like the dog wife coming by every now and then, the what they call Cobalt mom lady walking by and getting all hot and bothered by him was always funny.
So the comedic timing was definitely there. It was just more along the lines of the jokes just weren't strong. And and this one looks like it hopefully should hit really well, because it looks like we've got some really absurd characters. Kind of a little concerned about we may bump into a bit of lolly humor here, which can be good. I do know that I do get a kick out of a lot of lolly humor, but I'm going to be a little bit concerned because we have had shows where it's gone past the line on that. So we'll see.
All they gotta do is say that they're a 300-year-old vampire. It'll be fine.
Oh, it's Android. Android is obviously
that's true.
Gonna be okay. So
that's true. Everybody was kind of noting the fact that she looks like Taiga, and I kind of agree. A little bit like Taiga, especially in the key art. She totally looks like Taiga.
I don't think she's going to be a Taiga. She's. No. It looks like she's going to have deadpan humor, which is really good for me. I love deadpan humor. So
yeah,
we've got people teasing underskirts and stuff like that. So yeah, it should be fun. Really, because it's not going to hold back on the lewd humor, that's for sure. We'll see.
Yeah, and that was kind of the same case with Konosuba too. It was pretty pervy at times. Never really showed anything except for him swinging a pair of panties in the air in victory, and lots of really short skirts and the shots that make you wonder if they're wearing underwear. But yeah, that's Combatants Will Be Dispatched. Check that out on Funimation here soon. Let's see, Mars Red is our next one. Let's see, Mars Red takes place in 1923. And vampires have existed for quite a while. But now, the number of vampires is increasing and a mysterious artificial blood source called Askra has appeared. The Japanese government in turn creates Code Zero, a unit within the army tasked with taking down the vampiric forces, and what better way to track vampires than using vampires? It's kind of technically a thing that's been done quite a bit, so that doesn't surprise me too much. Created by Lieutenant General Nakajima, this unit has historically been in the business of information war, but has been reassigned to solve the vampire crisis. It's up to Code Zero and the S-Class vampire Defrot to investigate this increase and put a stop to it before society crumbles. This one, the studio is Signal MD, and the genres are action, sci-fi, supernatural, and it will be streaming on Funimation. Yeah, I didn't really get any flags of interest on this one, which is surprising because I'm not a huge vampire fan, but except for like things like technically Seraph of the End and stuff, I thought that was pretty cool. But I don't usually like go after it. But there really isn't anything that I'm seeing within the PV or anything that's caught my interest on this one. And not really any kind of creators behind it either.
It seems like this one might have been one that I bumped into at some point when I was going through my Vampire Night craze, where I was roaming around a lot of vampire type manga, and I may have bumped into this, but I don't think I got very far into it because the concept of vampires on Mars seems ridiculously familiar. It's a very unique concept.
Did it say it was on Mars?
Yeah, they're vampires on Mars. That's the whole point.
Where does it say it's on Mars?
Or maybe I just misunderstood it because it's called Mars Red. Seems odd.
Gotcha.
Seems very odd for a thing to be called that, though.
Yeah.
Why is the Japanese government in Mars? That makes sense. Well, I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, it doesn't look very familiar. None of the characters look familiar, but the concept seems familiar. It's like I said, it seems very. That's a very unique concept of vampires in Mars.
Yeah, I just didn't get any. I didn't get any. Oh yeah, it is based off of manga. Okay, I didn't have any source written down, so I wasn't sure if maybe it was an original that we couldn't get confirm on. But yeah, it's based on a manga. Very interesting. Interesting. All right. Let's see. Moving on, we have probably one of the most exciting shows that I have for this season for sure. Because as people know, Andrew has a difficult relationship with Trigger. I've tried very hard to enjoy Trigger shows, and I never really ever do. And one of the first ones that I really did enjoy was SSSS Gridman. And it does look like we have basically the same team coming back to make another show, which is SSSS.Dynazenon. The project is part of the shared Gridman universe media established in 2018 after the 1993 to 94 tokusatsu series Gridman: The Hyper Agent by Subura Productions. And again, we don't have a synopsis for anything, but it's being done by Studio Trigger and Graphinica. And the script is being done by, again, same people that did SSSS Gridman. Keiichi Hasegawa is scriptwriter. Director is Akira Amemiya. The character design is by Masaru Sakamoto. So, good stuff there. Action, mecha, sci-fi stuff. Yeah. Pigtail Girl looks really cute. All the character design look really awesome.
Well, it's Trigger, so yeah.
Don't say that. Like I said,
I
haven't really liked the character designs until, again, like I said, SSSS Gridman. Everything before then, I've never been a fan of.
I really, really do, for the most part, enjoy Trigger artwork. So it's just an easy one for me. So yeah, the character designs absolutely phenomenal for me. I absolutely love it. I'm not so sure I'm gonna like this, but we'll see. Didn't hate Gridman, so
I had to push you to go back and watch it, didn't I?
Yeah, I didn't hate it though.
Yeah.
I love
the character designs.
To me, it got boring. The characters I loved, but that has nothing to do with the storyline.
Yeah, I thought it got better. I thought I got better over time, but to each their own.
I said, I didn't hate it.
Mm-hmm. It got boring over time, though. People talking bad about my Trigger shows. See, it's cool because I get to turn it around on people now because I liked Gridman. Okay, joking aside. SSSS Dynazenon. Definitely excited for that one. Moving on. We have It's Disgusting to Call This Love. Here's our next guy falls in love with high schooler. We have the Japanese title is Koi to Yabu ni wa Kimochi Warui. Once you fall for someone, you can't stop the love. A strange encounter spurs the meeting of Amakusa Ryo, a high-spec businessman who's loose with women, and his high school sister's best friend, Arima Ichika. From there, he falls madly in love. On the one hand, he approaches her with almost too straightforward methods, while she responds simply disgusted, insulting him without hesitation. And he takes it as her way of showing love. This is a romantic comedy about a twisted elite employee and a normal otaku high school girl. Oh man, you just made me fall in love with her too with the otaku girl part. And unless she's a fujoshi, she could be a fujoshi. Otaku does not mean anime.
So
studio is Nomad. The source is a manga.
His sister's friend.
Huh?
It's his sister's friend.
His high school sister's best friend.
Okay. I think that's just a translation problem.
Yeah, I could imagine it being like there's somebody that, was like a sis to him that wasn't like blood related in high school, and that's her sister. Like a very close friend, maybe.
No, I think that it's more likely his sister who's in high school, her best friend.
Oh yeah. Right. Studio is Nomad. The source is a manga. The series competition is Yuko Kakihara, who did Asabi Asabase, Chihaya Furu, and As the Moon, So Beautiful. And the genres are comedy and romance. I don't know. I think this is probably going to be... Do you think this is probably going to be more shoujo?
Oh, yeah. That's
The
absolutely...
style looks very
because
like
I can... Because he's going to be pushy on her, and she's going to slowly question her feelings for a long, long time. And then finally fall in love with him and all that stuff. But always be questioning it. Yeah, it absolutely screams shoujo.
Just the art style looks very much so like it. Plus the pushy handsome guy.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll see. It's disgusting to call this love. Look forward to that if that sounds interesting to you. Here's another one that's been quite a while in the making. I guess not too long. But, yeah, Tui is finally coming out. The World Ends With You, or Subara Shiki Kono Sekai, the animation. This one, Neku awakens in the middle of Shibuya bustling scramble crossings with no memory of how he got there. Little does he know he's been transported to an alternative plane of existence known as the Underground. Now, an unwilling participant in the mysterious Reaper games, Neku must partner up with a girl named Shiki in order to survive together with ball caps. Neku must partner up with a girl named Shiki in order to survive. Together they complete missions and defeat monsters known as Noise as they gradually uncover the true nature of the twisted game. There's only one way to survive alive in Shibuya. Trust your partner. Will they survive the Reaper games? This one is Studio Shinny Animation and Domerica. The source is a game, and the genres are action and supernatural. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. I guess this is kind of the feeling that most people get whenever they have a source material they've been in, and they really enjoy the source material, and now it's getting adapted. As I have that kind of very much a feeling of, yay, now this story can kind of get to more people, because I really did enjoy the story. I thought it was actually really good. And I just... originally, when I played it on the DS, the original console that it was on, it was a nightmare to play. And I tried to push myself so hard to finish it because I really liked the story. So when it came out on smartphones, I was like, oh, cool, I can finally finish this stupid game because I hate the stupid controls of the original game. And it was much easier to play there. So if you do want to play the game, play the iOS, Android version. The DS version sucks. I hate it to death. Don't play this. I heard the Switch version's terrible too. So, yeah. Did you ever get into Tubi?
No, I was considering it on the Switch. So, but this will save me the trouble of not having to worry about that. I can just watch the story. That's all I really am interested in.
Right? just watch it. Just watch. Well, there's another one in this preview that is the same for me that we'll get into eventually. So, I totally agree with you. But yeah, that's The World Ends With You. I'm really kind of impressed by the visual style, because the one thing that I was kind of, concerned about is how to pull off this art style, because it is a very unique art style. It's very, very thick line, very kind of Danganronpa-esque. But yeah, especially from like the first PVs that we've seen, I was already like, wow, they're pulling this art style off, and I'm very surprised of how well they're pulling it off. So good on them. Hopefully they can keep that style going, because I'm not sure exactly how difficult it is to animate with huge lines. But yeah, cool stuff. Definitely excited for it. Let's see. We have the next one is Shadow House. This feels like this was one of those ones that kind of actually opposite was announced pretty early on. Let's see here. Come on 1 second. Okay. Shadow House. The story is set in a Western-style mansion on a cliff and centers the aristocratic, faceless Shadow family. They live together with lifelike doll attendants who serve as their faces. The story focuses on the daily lives of the house's inhabitants and gradually reveals its mysteries. This one's being done by Cloverworks. The source is a manga. Genres are fantasy, mystery, slice of life, supernatural. And again, this is kind of similar to the other one. It's Aniplex, so it's pretty much a given it'll be on Funimation. Elsewhere, question mark. What do you think? I think this is one that's kind of a little bit on the radar just because of the art style and stuff. Very unique setting too.
Yeah, the artwork I'm kind of liking. So it'll be this is definitely one that I'm very, very curious about. But it does give off a very, very dark vibe. So hopes can.
I'm curious about that. I'm almost getting like I wonder if this will be like a Hanako-kun kind of situation where it feels like it's going to be dark, but it's not really. But I do think that it's interesting, the idea. Never mind, the PV definitely is giving off a very dark vibe. It is interesting, the idea that, I mean, I'm curious about how it plays off on the doll thing. Is it going to be like a thing where we get the perspective of the dolls and they slowly kind of uncover the real attendants and what they do, or if they have a full knowledge of it the moment they're born? It'll be cool. I guess since it's a mystery, I'm probably leaning more on the idea of she'll probably be unraveling the actual owner's story as she goes along and cleaning and stuff. So yeah, it definitely is
yeah, that would make sense. Like they have two lives, one that they kind of like a split personality. They don't actually know about their other personality, and they just during the day they clean, and then or flip the other way of at nighttime they clean, and then during the daytime the shadows are taking over their bodies, and then they do their thing, and then they throughout the story they just slowly learn more stuff about them. That'll be interesting concept. It's definitely I'm very curious about it, that's for sure.
Yep. All right, moving on, we have Burning Kabaddi Burning Kabaddi, or Shakunetsu Kabaddi. This one, the story centers around a first year high school student, Tatsuya Yoigoshi, a former ace soccer player who dislikes sports. He gets involved to join a team for the contact sport Kabaddi. He scoffs at the idea first, but becomes interested after watching a Kabaddi practice. Studio is Demerica and TMS Entertainment. Seeing Demerica pop up a lot right now, so I'm not sure. I know that they've done a lot of kind of in-betweens and assist work, so it'll be interesting to see if it's a studio that will, I guess, gain some legs at this point. But yeah, again, sources of manga, genres are action, comedy, drama, and sports. It looks like tag. Is that what Kabaddi is? Is tag?
I don't know. I've never heard of such a thing, but it definitely looks like a tag type game.
I hope I'm pronouncing it. Somebody out there is like the biggest Kabaddi fan. They're like, it's actually pronounced like this. Kabaddi.
Are you doing the same thing as me and looking it up?
Yeah. I gotta know now because we're gonna be watching an anime about it. Play between two teams, 7 players. The objective of the game is for a single player on the offense, referring to as Raider, to run into the opposite team's half of the court, tag out as many of their defenders as possible, and return to their own half of the circle, all without being tackled by the defenders.
Oh my gosh,
that sounds actually pretty fun.
It looks like a slap war.
Oh, you're actually watching footage of it? Yeah.
A couple of really big guys doing that anyway. I'm going to clip another one.
Yeah.
These are smaller guys.
Get like a force of like sumo wrestlers doing it. Yeah. Cool stuff. Let's see. Moving on, we have Vivy, Fluorite, Ice Song. This one is the Nearland is a complex theme park managed entirely by AIs. Vivy is the first humanoid AI deployed there, where she sings for the attendees every day, following her directive to make everyone happy through songs. One day, an AI named Matsumoto appears before her, saying he comes from 100 years in the future with the directive to work with Vivy to stop the war between humans and AI that is soon to come. Studio is Wit Studio. The source is original. The creator is Tape. There's two creators, actually. Tape Nakatsuki, who, of course, created ReZero and Warlords of Sigrifa. The creator, Eiji Umehara, will be working with as well. Did script work for Beelzebub and ReZero. And the genres are sci-fi. And this possibly will be on Funimation as well, since it is a Aniplex title. So, yeah, I'm, like, pretty super excited for this one, just because of the, of course, Nagatsuki, of course, working on it definitely does kind of pique my interest. Now, granted, Warlords of Sigrifa wasn't a perfect show, but it was definitely up there. And, of course, ReZero absolutely loved to death. So, excited to see him take another shot at an anime original title as well. It might be too dark for Chris, though. Art style and everything looks great, too. I mean, Wit Studio, of course, is going to do a fantastic job because it's Wit Studio, but I'm kind of mixed on the art style itself, but the animation and everything else is definitely there for it.
I actually kind of like the art style, but his writing is very, I hate to say it's hit and miss for me. I do like his stories. When he actually starts digging into emotion, I think he absolutely knocks it out of the park with that. He's great at drama, human emotion type, exploring that stuff.
Yeah.
And is this an android? Yeah, it is, huh?
Yeah.
So it could be a very fascinating thing for him to delve into. I'm actually really kind of excited about this.
Based on like they had like a bunch of like little snippets and quotes and stuff that they were releasing for it to kind of lead up to its announcement, because it was kind of crazy, because this is actually something that I think they only announced in December or January, I think. And they released a lot of little kind of snippets and quotes, and I think one of them was something like how I'm going to go destroy my AI self. So I think it might be a thing where she's like an android that is trying to get to like the core to destroy herself. Like she's kind of like a drone. Kind of what it's kind of making it out to be, but yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I'm super excited for it. The moment they kind of announced it and we had it in our discussion, I was super excited. So yeah, good stuff. Let's see. Next one is Full Dive. This Ultimate Next Gen Full Dive RPG is even stir than real life. Kyokyo ko shinka shita Full Dive RPG ga genjitsu yori mo kusugi dattara. And this one is, the story follows a dull high school student named Hiroyuki when he is tricked into joining a full dive, fully immersive VR role-playing game. The game, Kiwame Quest, literally meaning Ultimate Quest, is promoted as more real than reality, with mind-blowing graphics, impressive NPC behavior, and even the scent of foliage and the sensation of wind blowing against your skin. Unfortunately, the game is already in virtual ghost town after being flooded with player complaints that the game is a little too realistic for its own good. Its quests are nearly impossible to clear, since players have to be as physically fit to complete them as you would in real life. Players feel actual pain when they get hit, and puncture wounds take days to heal. The only reward is this mere sense of accomplishment. It is a complete opposite of casual pick-up and play game, but Hiro vows to beat the most realistic and most stressful game ever. I don't feel that... I'm sorry. I'm going to call it here. I don't think that would really happen. How many people stick with stupid games that are stupidly hard just so they can show people they can piss farther?
They could be the one person who says that I beat it.
Like, that's like the whole idea of hardcore mode in like Diablo and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you die, your character's done. People right now are playing the new Ghosts and Goblins. And that game's like supposed to be stupid hard. Like, just stupid hard. But yeah. Like the best players right now are just trying to jump over this one cliff at this one level, and they're trying to figure it out right now. Yeah. At least streamers would be playing it, I guess. Watch me stream the most difficult game ever. No webcam. Sorry, cannot show myself in actual pain on Twitch.
We should actually go and check that out just to see if while Andrew is talking about this, people are actually doing this cliff that Andrew's talking about.
Probably is. It was a couple days ago when I heard about that.
This is absolutely a hilarious concept. Is this comedy? It is comedy, and it's ecchi. Right on. I actually am excited about this one. This concept is great. This concept is absolutely great. I love it.
You might as well get something out of it. Yeah, the studio is ENGI, the source of the light novel. The creator himself, and this is probably why you're going to like it as well, the creator is the creator of Cautious Hero, Light Tuchi-hi. And the director is Kazuya Miura, who did Zaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, and the genres are action, comedy, not ecchi, fantasy, romance. So yeah, good stuff. Definitely a solid one to be excited for. If not for anything, but the fact that it's being done by Tuchi-hi, who's, yeah, Cautious Hero was fantastic. And it was an extreme breath of fresh air at the time because we were a little bit disappointed. I was disappointed by Kimono Michi, so Cautious Hero was on that same season was what I was looking for. But yeah. Good stuff. Moving on, we have Pretty Boy Detective Club, Bishonen Tante Idan. The Pretty Boy Detective Club is a mysterious organization that's rumored to solve problems at Yubiwa Academy. To search for the star To search for the star that she glimpsed 10 years ago, second-year student Mayumi Dojima calls on these 5 pretty boys to help her solve the case. Which pretty boy is your favorite?
Andy, I'm going to give you a spoiler. I sense a bricks.
Oh. You think that Nisioisen would do a bricks character? Do you honestly think that Nisioisen would do that?
That is
you
a
didn't
good
see that.
question. No, I didn't. I did not see that. That is a very good question.
I like how many reveals we're getting in this episode of the preview.
That is
Are you watching this PV right now?
Yes, I am. I'm absolutely watching the PV. And
stupid screams Bakemonogatari.
She absolutely comes off. She came off as a Bricks character, but it being a Nisiosen, that makes an interesting question because
now if he did it, he would do it because he's going to do something with it.
Exactly. That's
because he did that with Monogatari series. Every Monogatari character is a trope, and they turn him into something. And
he messes with it. And that's the thing is, for her to come off like that actually says a lot as far as his writing. So this needs to go on my list. I hate to say it. I don't know if it's going to stay on the list. I don't know if it's going to stay on the list, but
I can't claim that it'll be a gem of the season because I think everybody would see that coming from a mile away. But yeah, it's definitely on my most exciting list for sure. And it's funny because it's one of those things where, and I think when we first heard that he was doing this, I know that we talked about when he was doing this particular light novel, and at the time it was kind of one of those feelings of like, why is he doing pretty boy stuff? Because of course the initial thought of a male like me that has my likes is going to be I don't want pretty boys, but it was a thing of like, but he's probably going to do something incredible with it, so you kind of have to watch. Yep. But it is kind of interesting, the idea of Nisioisen doing, male characters. Is he kind of going for that subverted expectations, or is he trying to go for this is the kind of guys you want kind of thing.
And plus,
I'm very interested in it.
And plus the fact that he's using Shaft, and Shaft is doing this again, it's gonna be absolutely phenomenal. You know it will. This is
You have Shaft working on it. You have director Akiyuki Shinbo, who did the Monogatari series as well. So the same director as the Monogatari series also did March Comes In Like a Lion as well. And the character designer did the Gatchaman Crowds anime. So I'm sure you probably noticed the style difference or the style similarity there. Kanako did that. And this is so funny because I actually follow Kanako on Twitter, and I don't necessarily like a lot of Kanako's artwork, especially more of his short-haired female characters. I mean, one of the boys on the left on the key art is pretty much a prime example of that style. Really don't like that super short female style. I mean, but everything else that Kanako does, I love. I absolutely love.
The artwork definitely caught my attention when it first popped up onto the screen. I was like, man, I like this, and then it was like it went downhill real quick with the whole pretty boy thing, and then but yeah, my excitement is like soaring right now. So I've
been
it's so on funny an entire roller coaster just in the last 5 minutes.
I just like how, like, if you watch that PV, it's like, wait, is this another season of Monogatari series? Which is a good thing. Like, that insane, and it's not this feels like a copy. It's this feels like so much is happening on the screen. So much creativity, experimentation is happening on the screen, and it looks great. So, yeah. Way cool. Definitely excited. Which is really nice because it was like the last Shaft show that we had was that Magical Girl show, and that didn't really catch my attention at all. So I'm happy to jump back into the Shaft bandwagon and see what they got going up next. So everything about that is definitely got me. So be excited for Pretty Boy Detective Club. Moving on, this is kind of an interesting one. I'm very curious as how this is going to pan out. This one is Jouran, the Princess of Snow and Blood. The year is 1931. Princess Tokugawa Yoshinobu is 94 years old and holds absolute control over Japan. Remnants of the Meiji era's culture can be seen around the city, but scientific technology and Japanese esoteric getting really crazy big words for Andrew. Cosmology, Onmyoru, and are also developing, exuding a sense of modernity. I'm sorry. Yet lurking behind the glitz is Kuchinawa, a dissonant group planning the assassination of the prince and effectively the fall of the regime. Tasked to extinguish the dissidents is Nue, the government's secret executioner group. Sawa Yukimura, who works for this organization, suffered from an early age at the hand of Kuchinawa boss. Her entire family was murdered, and she dedicated her life to avenging their death. Whew, that synopsis. I'm too dumb. I'm sorry. Studio Bakken record. Source is original. The script is being done by Rika Nezu, who this is kind of interesting because it's kind of similar to that I think we had last season. I forget which one it was. We had a screenwriter that was doing the writing for it. But similar situation here. It's another kind of live-action screenwriter. Notably, she did the live-action of Rainbow Days. Apparently, that's where a lot of her success was seen is that adaptation. The director will be Susumu Kudo, who did Marduk Scramble as well, which was a fantastic movie series. His genres are action, and this will be streaming on Funimation. So very much a period piece that I'm cautiously optimistic for because I'm not too sure about the synopsis, but if it pulls off what it looks like it's doing, I mean, there's a lot of aspects of the PV that looks incredible.
Are we going
like the assassination chick?
Are we going with a Yuki Onna or not?
Huh?
Is she a snow woman or not?
It's kind of what they're insinuating, yes, because I mean the whole idea of I guess at least the title anyway is what I'm getting out of it. But she has kind of like a very
There's
supernatural effect that's happening on her face. I'm not sure if that's just like this is what they see because she's such a demonic assassin, or if it's because like she actually has. I just assumed it was just her fury within her.
Yeah, in this one clip in there, it looks like maybe there's a snow effect going, but the rest of it, she's an assassin. I don't know. I'm very very mixed on this one. The concept does not excite me very much, but there's a lot of things going on in the PV that has my interest. So it'll be very interesting to see where this one goes for sure.
Yeah, that's my only concern really is that Bakken record that's working on it's not really doesn't really have anything. Like 2 episodes of Pandora to Akibu or Akubi, Akubi, which looks like just a short movie. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Next one we have is those Snow White Notes, or Mashiro no Oto. This one is, the synopsis is, shamisen is a traditional Japanese music instrument that looks similar to a guitar. Teenager Sawamura Setsu's grandfather, who raised him and his older brother Wakana, recently passed away. His grandfather was one of the greatest shamisen players, and the two siblings grew up listening to him play and learning to play the instrument. Since the grandfather's death, Setsu dropped out of high school, moved to Tokyo, and has been drifting, not knowing what to do besides playing his shamisen. That's when his successful and rich mother, Umeko, storms into his life and tries to shape up Setsu. She enrolls him back into high school, but little does Setsu know that he is about to rediscover his passion for shamisen. It sounds like the little guitars that would be who was the ones that did that really popular song for like a Subaru commercial or something like that? Something Brothers.
Yeah.
But yeah, similar to the one that they used in Rakugo as well, right? Isn't that what they play in Rakugo?
Yeah, in the background ladies do that.
I'm trying to remember what that guitar group was.
Yoshida Brothers.
Sounds right. Yeah. Studio is Shinny Animation. The source is a manga. The script writer is Kenichi Kato, who did Teasing Master Takagi-san, Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. Director is Hiroaki Akagi, who did Hinology, Luck and Logic, and Teasing Master Takagi-san. And the genres are drama and music. So, yeah. I don't know. Not usually I usually don't like the band group animes, but we'll see if it's got some legs in the story itself. Looks like it's gonna have
It'll
a lot
be interesting to
emotion around.
It'll be interesting to it'll be interesting to see a little bit of backstory on or a little bit of history on that particular instrument, but I don't know if it'll stick very long, because last time we keep getting I've tried to get excited about a few of them, and they always end up
like Sounds of Life. Just for some reason didn't grab me.
Yeah, I really want them to work, but they never do quite hit the right way, and so all I can do is hope.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. We have our next one is Bakuten. This one, the anime is set in Miyagi Prefecture's Iwanuma City, and centers around a high school rhythmic gymnastics team. The anime follows Shotaro Futaba, who is fascinated by gymnastics after seeing it in his third year of middle school, and joins the rhythmic gymnastics team of his new high school, Sushukan High School, nicknamed Aoi. He makes a friend with his schoolmate Ryoya Misato, who earned fame as a gymnast during middle school. Studio is Zex. The source is original, and the writer is Toshizo Nimoto, who did Macross Delta, Jusiki Pandora, and did work on Robotic Notes, Gosik, and Shangri-La. So pretty solid writer for it. And the genres are sports. So yeah, Andrew finally gets his gymnastics anime, even though it's a bunch of pretty boys.
Yeah, and the problem is the last time that we got excited about something, because this is one particular
well, that's the annoying thing with Gymnastics Samurai. It was like, okay, the gymnastics that I really like is like the floor gymnastics, like the jumps and flips and all that kind of stuff, which is exactly what this is doing. Yeah. Gymnastics Samurais, they were supposed to be gymnasts doing all of the stuff, but the only thing they showed, the main character doing was the what do they call it? The pole, or whatever. Blah, can't think of the name of it. None of the floor stuff. They showed the other character doing a lot of that stuff. The rival, the Vegeta character. And a lot of the other side characters with him were doing the floor gymnastics. And again, it's just kind of technically with a lot of the male gymnasts, they can pull off a lot of the really fantastic stuff as well. It's just one of those things where the female gymnasts are just so much more flexible, and they do like the most incredible. I always say whenever I watch Olympics, the only thing I ever really watch is the floor gymnastics stuff. There's probably an actual name for it. I just call it floor because there's a big floor and they do crazy cartwheels and shit. But it's a troubling thing that's what I want, and I always get stuff that's like right there, so close, just not quite. Just like we want a cheerleading show, so what do we get? Cheerdanchi.
And that's exactly what I'm concerned about, is because this is the same exact thing as the Cheerdanchi did. Was it has a lot of potential because of especially the fact that, like what Andrew was saying, is the difference between the guys and the girls is grace versus power. The guys have the ability to do some really dynamic moves, whereas the women tend to have more graceful moves
and flexibility. I think. I think now, yeah. Granted, yeah, a lot of males, especially nothing against them, Japanese males, they're equally as flexible. They're not equally, but they're pretty dang flexible. But I don't know. It's just something I only really see in the females is the grace and the flexibility. It's similar to ice skating too. Usually, with a lot of females ice skating, they're super flexible and they do some crazy stuff that you just don't see in male. And it's similar. It is one of those things where it's like the whole gender sports thing. It's like this is where they excel because they utilize what makes them unique as a female versus running and stuff. It's probably more for male because they have that instead. Unpopular opinion, probably.
And the frustrating thing is that while it has the potential to be a really great, because this is going to be an animation piece, if anything. If they don't, if they go
and
more
that's
on
the
this
problem. I don't know that Zex is going to be able to do incredible animation.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I'm falling on this. Is I would be more concerned about the fact of whether or not they're going to pull off because the story can maybe make it. I lost a lot of my hope for those kinds of stories with Churdanchi, which could have been an excellent example of this done right. And and each story has their own chance. I fully will give them their chance to make their case. Unfortunately, I'm concerned. I really am.
Yeah, I mean, this is the studio that, I mean, I'm looking for some kind of action piece that they've done. Chrome Shelled Region, maybe? Akuno Hana, which was rotoscoped. Yeah, not really anything heavy action from them. So, but again, we always leave it up to pretty much what they're given budget-wise, and sometimes talent just can't do what they want to do because they have restraints. We don't know. So
Akuno Hana, possibly, but that's
like you were saying, though. It's not really animation.
Rotoscope.
Well, yeah, it's animation, but it's utilizing capture to get the animation. So
yeah, and that's a frustrating thing. Is it's not exact in some ways it is the same, but in other ways it's not the same, and that's possibly what they may do with the because that might be a way that they can pull off the
I was just thinking the idea of possibly using rotoscope to animate it. We don't really have many examples in the PV except for one person doing a backflip at a weird angle. Not really in a weird angle, but a very close up side angle.
There's other clips that are a lot longer than that one, but it's still you don't get a good solid. This is what they're going to do. He's just flipping across the screen, and it looks like they were kind of stopping the guy in the front, so it's probably he's like jumping over the guy in the background. Maybe.
I mean, does it look rotoscope though?
It's hidden really well if it is.
Yeah.
Let me see here
if I
can bring it back up.
I mean, you're also looking at a completely different art style and everything, so it's hard to really sell that it's going to be a similar situation with it. So, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think I found it right here. Yeah, that's not rotoscope. They're not using rotoscope. I mean, it's good animation, but again, it's really hard to take a PV for exactly what they're going to end up doing. I don't know. Some of it looks like it's maybe not rotoscope, but maybe animating over actual motion. We'll see. Like I said, it's very difficult to go based off of PVs. Sometimes they do some insane stuff with the PVs, and then after that, they'll either pull a Yuri on Ice and reuse the same animations over and over again, or something else. But we'll see. Again, that is Bakuten. Check that out if that sounds interesting to you. Another big, exciting one that's coming up, and I know a lot of people have been excited for this one for some time, is Farewell, My Dear Kramer, or Sayonara Watashi no Kramer. With no soccer accomplishments to speak of during the entirety of Sumire Suo's junior high school years, the young wing gets an odd offer. Suo's main rival, Midori Soshizaki, invites her to join up with the same team in high school, with a promise that she'll never let Suo play alone. It's an earnest offer, but the question is whether Suo will take her up on it. Yes, she will. It's a soccer anime. Thus, the curtain opens up on a story that collects an enormous cast of individual soccer-playing personalities. This one's being done by Studio Lead Films, sources of manga, and of course, the big exciting thing about this is that the creator is Naoshi Arakawa, who did Your Lie in April.
No.
And the script is being done by Natsuko Takahashi, who did Bleach and Nobunaga Concerto. So she's got some good stuff under her belt as well.
No,
or he does.
I'm not falling for it. Won't happen.
Were you afraid of a tragic girlfriend or something? Jeez. Yeah. And it is great because they do technically capture that art style of, like the March Comes Like a Lion kind of art style, and well, technically Your Lie in April art style, honestly. But Yeah, different character designer that's doing this one, but they're definitely managing to capture that same style that they had with Your Lie in April, which is I'm not a fan of because they have a habit of lips. I don't necessarily like the. I don't like my anime characters with lips. It just looks weird. They look like kappas or something, but it is what it is. I'm sure it's going to be a really good story. Now, of course, my big the only hang up that I have with this is I wasn't a fan of Your Lie in April. I thought it was way too telegraphed from the very beginning. They telegraphed the heck out of that story. It was way too obvious from very early on what they were going for, and I didn't mind that so much. I did not like her ability to juggle comedy. And that could have been because of the adaptation, but I did not like Your Lie in April because I didn't like how they balanced comedy and serious moments. It was constantly jarring me, but this might be different. We'll see. I'm always up to be surprised. I know that there's a very talented writer behind there, and a lot of people do love Naoshi's work, so we'll see. But you're not gonna watch it though?
Yes, I will. I'm just not falling for it. I won't fall in love with anybody because they're all going to die.
Well, isn't she Freckles? Didn't I spot Freckles?
Oh, that's even worse. Don't even.
I think I spotted Freckles. I think the main character is just Freckles. Let's look. Let us look. I have to know. No,
I don't know. The particular PV I'm looking at doesn't have freckles.
It's just a lot of like that whole line under the eye kind of thing. Like a weird kind of blush look to it. But there's probably a Freckles character in there somewhere. You know there is. We'll see.
She broke her arm.
We'll see if Chris...
She's already in the hospital. What the heck?
Punched somebody too hard. She punched Andrew because Andrew was being down on Your Lie in April. She's like, punch. Moving on. Let us move on. We have the Saint magic power is omnipotent, or
Omnipotent.
Seijo no Mario ko wa Bano desu. This one is Sei, a 20-year-old office worker, is whisked away to a whole new world. Unfortunately for Sei, the ritual that summoned her meant to produce a saint who was banish the dark magic. Brought two people over instead of one. And everyone prefers the second girl over Sei. But this is just fine by Sei, who leaves the royal palace to set up shop making potions and cosmetics with her newfound magic. Business is booming, and this might not be such a bad life after all, as long as she supposed sainthood doesn't come back to haunt her. You know, it's going to be one of those things where they prefer the other person, but she's actually the one with the power.
Yeah.
has like Shield Hero vibes without all the
I was thinking more along
aspects of it.
I was thinking more along the lines of the second one didn't get to the end game, and she ends up
failed. Yeah,
I
can see that. Very for some reason, this gives me a lot of vibes of Snow White with red hair.
You think so?
It has that vibe to it.
Mm.
Not that Snow White with red hair was an isekai, just that the whole aspect of the, go out and leave something and go out and just be your own person kind of thing. So, I don't know. For some reason it's reminding me of that. But yeah, good deal. I think it has a possibility of being a solid. I mean, one thing I'm getting with this season is a lot of potential romance, and like I've said before, I don't really necessarily think that anime does romance good at all, and that's mainly because what Chris was saying earlier, the whole communication issues that they seem to have, and a lot heavy reliance on will they won't they kind of aspects. So, but like Snow White with red hair was a prime example of like, oh wow, we can do this. Like, you got it. This is this is working. You're doing it. Just keep going. And what? Let's not adapt anymore. Andrew's liking it. Andrew's liking a romance. Stop adapting this now. Excited for it though. Being done by Dio Media. Source is light novel. Director is Shota Ibata, who did Girlish Number and Domestic Girlfriend. Series composition by Watara Watari, who is the creator of romantic comedy Snafu, of course, which is another reason why I'm excited for this. I forgot to mention that earlier. So yeah,
I actually am. I'm going to put this as an alternate on my list. I don't think it's going to quite make the list, because really what it's going to be doing is anything coming up that's next on my list will probably knock off Pretty Boys, and I don't think this is strong enough to push that one off.
He's running out of space.
Yeah.
I like when I ask what do you think of this show, your immediate thought is, I don't know, I'm running out of space on my 5 list, so I can't say that I'm excited because I can't get rid of something.
I am actually excited about this, because it does have an interesting concept. In after getting through a large chunk of the this PV, yeah, I guess I can kind of see the Snow White with the red hair. I kind of am more seeing the other one. It wasn't Snow White with the red hair. It was the one where it had pretty boys as well, but it was the one where they went off on an adventure.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Can't think of it either. That was another one of those ones where it's like, it was doing pretty good, and then it stops like right at the war. It's like, here, everything's coming up. Let's stop.
Yeah, I really did kind of hope that they would bring that one back, and the only problem with that is, this one fits in its own little category as far as its vibes, because I can see the pretty boy. So you're definitely got kind of the visual novel aspect of collecting boyfriends. She's definitely got the like Andrew was talking about.
Yona of the Dawn.
Huh?
Yona of the Dawn.
Yona of the Dawn. So it has kind of that vibe going for it. It's also got the kind of like Andrew was talking about, the Snow White with the red hair, where she's building up a kind of an alchemy thing going on. So she's got
Snow White
on.
with the red hair. She was, what was she? Was she an alchemist? Yeah, she was an alchemist, or herbalist at least.
An herbalist, yeah. And that's what they're doing here. Is she is technically an herbalist of some sort. She's handing out potions. She's doing spells to heal people. So they're definitely going for that. So I'm definitely interested in this one, very much so.
Yeah. And like I said, having the Snafu creator working on it is definitely exciting for me. Thankfully, it does not look like there is. It's not. It is. It looks. It's probably going to be like a reverse harem, if anything. So I don't have to worry so much about a Yu Gahama situation where she's crying half the dang show, and I'm mad. I'm sure this character will be crying at some point, but we'll see. Do you think it's gonna be? Did it show the other hero? Do you think it's gonna be a thing where it's a male that came in with her? So they immediately go,
I seen a red hair.
Obviously, this has got to be the hero.
I seen a red hair lady, which I think possibly was her. She was cute in the previous life too.
I like the ponytail.
Click. Where are you at?
By the way, I should have mentioned at the beginning, for the people that are watching this on YouTube, I'm sorry that I'm not showing the trailer on the screen. We've done that before, and we got flagged, so I can't do it. I'm probably risking things by having the key art on the screen, so that's why. I literally spent gobs of hours. I think it was when Attack on Titan. It was a season that Attack on Titan first season came out, and I made a full-on, here's us talking over the trailers playing, and we got flagged from that. So for some reason, PVs are not accepted.
Around 1 minute and 6 seconds into the PV is where, unless it's the blue hair.
Yeah,
Unless it's
it looks like that would, because it looks like she just got there in that scene, because she has an outfit like that would be in her modern times. Well, let's see. She has like a hoodie on or something.
Yeah, the other one is the blue hair right after.
I don't know. She had like a jacket on when she first was isekai. I don't know. We'll see.
So either way, it's either the red hair or the blue hair that I'm getting the idea of.
Yeah.
Everybody else is all guys, so.
Oh yeah, it says and everyone prefers the second girl over Sei. So it is actually in the synopsis. I missed that. I'm sorry. Sorry, people, for the tangent for no reason. Everybody's like, it's on the stinking screen. Oh, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, our next one is Super Cub. Let's see. The story centers around Koguma, a high school girl in Yamanashi. She has no parents, friends, or hobbies, and her daily life is empty. One day, Koguma gets a used Honda Super Cub motorcycle. This is her first time going to school and on a motorcycle, running out of gas and hitting detours. This sounds just like that Bakuan, or was it Bakuan?
Sounds right.
The other motorcycle club show. Didn't she literally do that in that show too, where she ran out of gas on the way there? And it was like her first time riding it. Anyways, sorry. She is satisfied with a strange transformation, but her classmate Reiko ends up talking to her about how she also goes to school by motorcycle. One Super Cub begins to open up a lonely girl world, introducing her to new everyday life and friendships. This one's being done by Studio Kai. The source is a light novel, and the series composition is being done by Toshizo Nemoto, who did Macross Plus. It's the same as I said earlier. He did Shangri-La, Ghost Sick, all that kind of stuff. So that's at least two works that he's working on this season. But yeah. Dots. Studio Kai is...
She has no parents and no money.
Studio Kai... Which one was Studio Kai? I totally know that's a big one. I'm forgetting.
She has no friends, no hobbies, no nothing. Poor thing. I feel really bad for this thing.
Oh, yeah, that was the one that did the second season of Pretty Derby. And all they've really done is like Netflix stuff like Seven Seeds and Kagaster. So it's
I have a feeling I'm probably gonna fall in love with her. This is stupid. Darn it.
Very K-on-ish.
Why has she got...
Why she have what?
I don't know. Apparently everything is not going for her. That means that probably I'm going to end up falling in love with her.
Yeah. They definitely kind of have like a very Keion Moe-ish style to her. So it's cute. Hopefully the studio can keep it up. I mean, they're technically using CGI for all the motorcycle stuff, which is... But we can't animate two-wheeled vehicles anymore for some reason, or four-wheeled vehicles at that point. Interesting style to it. Do you notice that? Very interesting style to the characters and everything. It almost has like a very, almost like a heavily sketched hairstyle and stuff. Like they have like a lot of lines in it.
I wonder if they're going to, if this is going to come off as the same as Laid Back Camp, because I'm getting big time laid Back Camp vibes.
Yeah, I'm riding around there on their
and
bikes.
for whatever reason, Laid Back Camp is right after this on my queue for whatever reason.
There's probably a lot of people that click the same thing. Girl on motorcycle.
Yeah, probably. She just I don't know why it's giving off a Yasuke kind of feel to it, where it's just kind of chill, relax.
Yeah.
It very solitary in a lot of ways, and that goes by what, like I was talking about a few seconds ago, where the subtitles underneath it were saying that she has no friends, she's very alone, and all that stuff. She has no parents, no money, no nothing, and it's like, can we get any more solitary going on? And then even the very end, this is a 1 in a million, one person out of a million or something like that. So I'm guessing this is very rare that anybody buys these super cubs.
Yeah, kind of like a passion project for somebody that likes them. And that was similar to, I think, Bakuen, where they were kind of highlighting certain vehicles that they kind of like. So, yeah, Super Cub. Check that out if that sounds interesting to you. Cute girls riding Super Cubs. Next one we have is Dragon Goes House Hunting, or Dragon A Wo Kou. And this one is the stories. As the story follows Letty, a dragon who is cast out of their family home after failing to live up to some dangerously high standards. Talk about relatable, and sets out to find a new place to live. But in this world full of magical creatures, elves, dwarves, and more, it's not so easy for a fearsome dragon. Get ready for the high-stress world for real estate to collide with this comedy adventure. Interesting. I didn't think it was actually going to follow the dragon.
Poor dragon doesn't want to cause problems. He just wants to be left alone. I like it.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not full CGI. I look, a studio that can actually animate a dragon. Granted, it's very kind of cartoonishy and not overly detailed, but I think that's kind of what I would want to go for a comedy fantasy. It has like a bird baby. It's like carrying around a bird baby. Yeah, that could be a lot of fun. Like I said, I didn't technically think that it was going to be following the dragon, but apparently so. So, it even has like a Puss in Boots character. Wonder if that'll be like part of the heroes team that's hunting down the dragon. It is kind of funny because usually with all kind of storytelling, the dragon's like this thing that stays in a cave somewhere and is like fearsome, and if you get anywhere near it, you're just dead. And now we have one that's just trying to find a cave.
He's trying to get out of the cave. He's trying to get out of the cave.
No, it got chased out of the cave, and now it's trying to find a cave. Like I don't know, like the other monsters drove her out or whatever. So yeah, that could be interesting. I think the only thing that's hang up is it. I'm guessing the pink-haired one is probably like a princess or something like that. Not a fan of the art style of it, but other than that, everything else looks fun.
I don't know. I love it. I got to watch this.
Yeah. Good stuff. I don't even know if this is anime, but we'll cover it. Next one is Odd Taxi. The taxi driver, Odakawa, lives a very mundane life. He has no family, doesn't really hang out with others, and he's an oddball who is narrow-minded and doesn't talk much. The only people who he can call his friends are his doctor, Goriki, and his classmate from high school, Kakibana. All of his patrons seem to be slightly odd themselves. The college student who wants the world to notice him online, Kabasawa, a nurse with secrets named Shirakawa, a comedy duo that just can't catch a break, named the starting out named Mystery Kiss. All the mundane conversations somehow eventually lead to a girl who's gone missing. And this one is Studio OLM Pix, or PICS, or OLM and PICS, two studios. Source is original, the genre is mystery, and this will be streaming on Crunchyroll. Actually, it's funny, based on the key art, I thought this was going to be like full CGI. Apparently it is animated. Like standard animation, 2D animation, sorry. So, very...
I don't know. We'll see.
All the characters are animals, by the way, for those that are listening to podcasts. It's
the ones that go like do this stuff is really hit and miss for me. So we'll see. I'm not ruling it out until I've actually watched it. I'm not excited about it.
Yeah,
I hate to say that, but it is what it is.
and it is one of those things where it's like you still jump on it because there's always that possibility that even though, like, I mean, that's like Beastars was not the visuals did not capture me for that whatsoever. I mean, yeah, it was cool, like wolf dude, all crazy psycho looking in the PV, but I wasn't running to it for an anime, and it surprised me. Like, it had so much, great character writing that it sucked me in, and this could very well do that, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, it does go without saying that the anime aesthetic is what pulls you in quickly. The story holds you. And to have something that doesn't have that anime aesthetic, I don't have that initial pull. So, yeah, we'll see. Not throwing it out or anything, just we'll have to see. All right, that's Odd Taxi. Moving on, we have Let's Make a Mug 2, or Yakunara Mug Cup Mo. This one, the city of Tajimi, located in the southern part of Gifu Prefecture. Japan is famous for Mino earthenware. The city is dotted with historical pottery producers and ceramic arts museums. It has facilities where you can try your hand at making pottery and many restaurants that serve food on Minoware. Let me guess, somebody just moved there. The story begins when a high school girl moves to the shopping street in Tajimi. Many encounters await her, friends, townfolk, ceramic art, etc. What will she discover in a town famous for ceramic? Yeah. And this one is being done by Nippon Animation. The source is a manga. The script is being done by Naruhisa Arakawa, who did Listen to Me Girls, I'm Your Mother, or Your Father. Listen to Me Girls, I'm Your Mother. I want that show. We need a spin-off. Listen to Me Girls, I'm Your Mother. Listen to Me Girls, I'm Your Father. Mau, Outbreak Company, Island, screenplay for Spice and Wolf. And the genres are slice of life. Cute girls doing pottery.
Yep. That's pretty much where I'm going with it. It looks cute and could be an interesting concept.
Yeah, this is one of those ones where you're totally going to see, like, those videos come out where these guys are just, like, poring over videos of people doing pottery and getting that perfect shot of the smoothing animation and everything. I mean, it does look pretty awesome in that regard, so. At least the one clip they show it. Well, there's technically two clips, but one looks really crazy. And a kappa at the end. Gotta have a kappa.
Probably the mascot.
Yeah, city mascot, or there's probably some river there that's famous for that kappa statue, because it is a prefecture, and sometimes a lot of these things are just basically advertisement for a prefecture. So, yep. All right, for fans of the new Berserk series, we have Cestus, or the Roman hunter, a Roman fighter, sorry. 54 AD, Cestus, a young boy orphaned by the Roman Empire and made a slave, is placed into the training schools of pugilists. It is here that he begins his journey to defy fate and fight for his own freedom. The studio is Bandai Namco Pictures. The source is a manga. The director, script, and series composition is being done by Toshifumi Kawase, who did Higurashi When They Cry, Gundam ZZ, and Gundam Zeta. The genres are action, drama, and sports. Yeah. Looks very much like the new Berserk CGI kind of animation. Again, this is similar to that one earlier where it's not really pulling me in by aesthetic whatsoever, but it could have a really great story. Could be a very gladiator story.
Yeah, could very well do that. And I could see a lot of people going nuts over that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and it is one of those things where technically that CGI could potentially benefit it in an animation where they normally maybe not be able to pull off very good animation, but we'll see. Next one we have is Blue Reflection Ray. A clear summer sky spreads over Hoshinomiya's girl high school. This story begins with the belated start of school life for Hinako Shirai, who has just recovered from her leg injury due to a tragic accident. She didn't get isekai'd. Dang it! She got the short straw there. Everybody else gets hit by a car and they get isekai'd. She gets hit by a car and has to recover, and then goes to school late. Damn. Oh, sorry. The magical sisters Yuzu and Lime, I'm guessing that's Lime, it might be Lime, but probably Lime, bestow her with a special power to become a reflector. Hinako transforms into a magical reflector form and protects the world from devastating forces for the sake of the world and her own dream that she thought she had given up on. This is being done by JC Staff. The source is a video game, Blue Reflection. And the director is Risako Yoshida, who did Lost Risk, Conflated Recross, regular at Magic High, second season. Script being done by Akiko Waba, who did Aiko Reincarnation and Hisone Tomaso-tan. And the genres are fantasy. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier with, we were talking about Tui being able to watch the anime rather than play the game. This is similar. Now, as we normally do, we don't really necessarily read synopsis. I mean, we there's some of them we read back when they were announced they were getting an adaptation, but done long forgotten, most of them. This is one of those cases where I've been wanting to play Blue Reflections for a long time. The game looks beautiful visually. It unfortunately doesn't. What are you doing on the screen? What are we doing?
I'm just
Lost a race. Lost a race.
Trying to search something.
What? You don't remember what Lost Risk Conflated Recross? I think it was like the third one.
No,
it's about where we started.
I'm trying to look up Blue Reflection. And I just
it was a PS3 game. It was a PS3 game. I really liked the aesthetic of it, and I really wanted to play it. I didn't really hear too good reviews on it. It seemed like it was a very wordy game, but I mean that's always fine for me technically. But it just looked beautiful. It was very. I think it's the same studio that does the Atelier games. I could be wrong. It definitely has the same similar art style. But anyways. Looked beautiful. Wanted to play it. Never did get around to doing that. And so I was excited to see that there was an adaptation coming. This doesn't sound. The characters are definitely different, I think. So I don't think this is a direct. I don't think this is Blue Reflections, a game in animated form. I can check real quick, but because I think, like I said, I think this characters are different, and the synopsis really doesn't.
It's Fruit Basket. I gotcha.
What's the matter?
I was trying to figure out it couldn't be. It's not Fruits Basket. It can't be because that's only a couple of characters. The character art is very. I was trying to place the character art because and I know it's not Konosuba. It's either, well, I guess because I've never watched Baseball Girls. So it's either got to be Konosuba or Fruits Baskets.
What was it saying the main girl was? Yuzu and Lime. So to begin the school life of Hinako Shirai. Well, no. It technically lists Hinako Shinai as the character, but she looks different. Huh. I wonder if they're going to play off. No, they could be pulling this. I don't know. They could be pulling the synopsis from the game for the anime. And like I said, technically the girl from the game does not look like this character. So, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing there. Like I said, they could just be pulling the synopsis from the game and thinking it's going to be the same for this. So we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, these characters on this key art are not the same characters on the game. So I'm kind of thinking that they're just two different stories. My hope is that you don't have to play the game to know this, because the synopsis really does sound like it's assuming that. So We'll see. But it basically, from what I remember, the game was a lot about like they're at school and like different girls in the school would get inflicted by this curse or something that would drive their emotions, and then they had to go in like this weird dream world, become a magical girl, defeat that to basically cure the schoolgirl. So, like I said, a lot of my draw was the aesthetic, and I don't think the animation is really pulling off that aesthetic because the designer for Blue Reflections is what was the character designer?
That's what I was just saying.
I want to say
designer,
it was.
The character designer was the one that did the only ones that he's done character designing in was Fruits Basket and the other one, Konosuba.
Maybe it's just I know their art style from like art books and stuff because I know it's a very popular artist. Did you find Mel Kishida? Mel Kishida. It's the Atelier character designer. So I was right.
Oh, is it? Maybe it's Atelier.
This is me fighting my memory. I'm sorry, people, but yeah, it was that. I was right. I thought it also did Sound of the Sky. Yeah, I remember Hanasaki Roha was another one that he did. So that makes sense as well. Just really, and it sadly a lot of it doesn't get translated to anime. I think that Koei Tecmo, whatever, is doing a fantastic job, pulling it off in the Atelier series. But it's something that doesn't really translate to animation. It's kind of like a similar thing to Range Murata, where this doesn't really translate well. But nothing against the studio. I mean, that's again similar to Murata. Good luck. It's just too much. The beauty is in the detail, and they have so much detail. So we should move on. But I'm excited for that. Hopefully, like I said, it doesn't rely on you having played the game because it looks like obviously there's different characters. So we'll see. Moving on, we have Seven Knights Revolution Iyu no Kishosa. This one's eons ago, valiant heroes fought against the forces of destruction. While their deeds passed into legends, the power of these heroes was later inherited by successors who fought to protect the world. One day, Faria, a successor of the Seven Knights, saves an ordinary boy named Nemo from the forces of destruction. During the ensuing battle, Nemo summons the power of a hero and becomes a successor as well. However, Nemo's hero is a stranger that is unknown to history, and so the epic journey where the past and present collide begins. This is being done by Leiden Films and Demerica. Again, another Demerica popping in there. The source is a video game. The script is being done by Ukyo Kodachi, who did Boruto, Fate Grand Order, Camelot, the movies, Lord El Melway, Case Files, and School Live. And the dramas are action and fantasy. So, Chris, what do you think? Another fantasy based off a video game. I want these to be good. And I struggle with them. I struggle with them so much. There's some beautiful character designs, and they are doing some crazy animations here and there on the PV at least. I don't know. Did it lose you?
I was distracted by something. It's all right.
The cute ringlets look. She's not really ringlets, but she's pretty close to ringlets. I guess she's more like what's her face? Sharo? Was it Sharo? From Princess Connect Redive. A gorgeous, good animation, but it's a PV4 video game. They sometimes go crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll see. Next one we have is a Pretty Boy, our Pretty Boy show of the season. Not the Nisyoisen show. That's going to be probably for everybody. This is the Pretty Boy show. This one, Fairy Ranmaru, Anata no Kokoro Otasuke Shimasu. And this one is set in the world of cruelty and heartbreak. Fairy Ranmaru. Anata no kokoro otatsu shimasu follows 5 young men who work at the mysterious Bar F and who offer to heal the hearts of their clients, wiping away the tears and causing smiles to bloom like flowers. They take no payment, aside from stealing their clients' hearts. Reminds me of Rainy Days. It's like a bar with the pretty boys in it. And it looks like they're insinuating they have like the spirits of like different like old soldiers and stuff. Is that what you're getting from the beginning?
No, it looks like they're from another world and trapped in
Isekai fantasy guys.
Yeah,
I guess that's the case. They look pretty crazy.
One
looks like they took the.
I can say the artwork is definitely not working for me. These characters are not working in any way, shape, or form for me.
Of course, the probably more feminine short one is pulling the spirit of like some.
He's a fairy. He's a fairy.
Like the most goofiest looking. That's fine. I'm sorry, fans of the Pretty Boy shows.
No, these
fun.
ones are not working in any way, shape, or form.
I wish they would. I mean, I'm not against the idea of really enjoying those, but like, I mean, that's similar to things like, you know, I think things like Yona the Dawn and, you know,
even
Snow White with the red hair do kind of bridge that middle ground. Like another one was the Ancient Magus's Bride. It was kind of the bridging of the two fandoms.
Well, most
like.
of the time, Pretty Boy shows I don't mind. Because I do like the overly detailed character artwork, and Pretty Boy shows tend to do that a lot. But this one,
Diabolical Lovers and stuff, the stuff that you've always kind of chimed on of having like really gorgeous designs that just
this one
bricks. The problem is bricks.
Yeah, this one I wish I could explain exactly what it is that I don't like. I think they're just if I was to
like it's
guess,
trying too hard.
It's probably that the characters are too rigid. Is the only way that I could explain it. The blue hair guy flat out I don't like, and I can tell you the reason why is he looks like the that stereotypical cross-dresser
pasty nerd
cross-dresser character, and that I don't like at all. Because he's got the eyeliner and it's not working at all. And some of the other characters are just kind of just a step off of that. And maybe that's what it is. The characters are I don't want to put it as they're the chiseled type characters, because they're not, there is characters in here that do have that, but that's not the reason why I don't like them. They just overly obnoxiously flamboyant, I guess. I don't know what else to say, because they're all coming off as that type of character archetype, and I tend to not like them anyway. I mean, the characters themselves usually end up being hit or miss on whether or not I like them anyway, but their artworks tend to bug me, and I don't like that. And that's how most all of these characters are coming off as, is that flamboyant cross-dresser type character.
Yeah. I'll peek in an episode. We'll see. Again, that's Fairy Ranmaru.
I hate it. I can tell you, I hate it. I hate the character art. I despise it. I've never had a PV
It's
turn
okay,
me off
Chris.
more than this one.
It's okay. Just move on, Chris. We're moving on. I've already switched screens. We're moving on, Chris. I am like, I'm kind of mad right now because while you were ranting about art styles, I decided to peek in on the next one, and I was not ready for what I've seen.
I've never had a PV turn me off that much. I've never had it.
It's okay, Chris.
This one is one that I've been wondering about for a long time. This will be an interesting.
Don't watch the PV. Don't watch the PV.
I already see it.
Don't. You watch it?
No, I see the Netflix.
Okay. Well, no. So here's the thing. The next. All right, but it's literally going to be dropping here soon. So the next 3 are shows that are going to drop in its entirety during the spring season. So they will be spring shows, and we will cover them as if they were spring shows because I will watch them the day of release so they can get a video up and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, the first one we have is The Way of the Househusband, which is Joku Fudo. He was the fiercest member of the Yakuza, a man who left countless underworld legends in his wake. They called him the Immortal Dragon. But one day, he walked away from it all to travel another path, the path of Househusband. The curtain rises on a cozy Yakuza comedy. Studio is JC Staff, the source is a manga, and the director is Chiaki Kon, who did Backstreet Girls, Golden Time, Higurashi, When They Cry, Nodame, Kantebo. Genres are comedy, slice of life, and the streaming will be on Netflix. And like I mentioned, it will be dropped in its entirety on April 8th. So here's where I was telling Chris not to play the PV. I was actually excited for this one. It sounds hilarious. Yakuza guy, I mean, it's similar to Hinamatsuri or something like that. This, like, really tough guy doing normal stuff. I mean, he gets stopped by the police, and they're like, what is your occupation? He's like, I'm a house husband. He's got, like, all these tats and stuff. It doesn't look animated very well. And I wonder, and they have to be doing it on purpose, because it's JC Staff. It's not a studio that's going to struggle with animating things. So all I can think of is they're trying to, I guess, match a lot of the the more iconic stills in the manga. But there's a lot of scenes in it that just look. There's a scene with him at a grocery store, and the chick behind the counter looks weird, like way weird. So I don't know what they're doing. I really don't. Like, their introduction of him looks great. I mean, he's got all the tats. Looks really detailed. I mean, a lot of the really more dramatic shots that are technically stills with mouths moving are fine. It looks like there's a lot of these shots where, like, the wife comes in and it's like, it's literally 2 frames, 2 angles of her falling into the room, and it just has, like, the line effects around her, and that's all they're doing. They're not showing her actually fall into the room. Are you getting the same frustration as I'm getting? Like, is this what they're doing? This was released on March 1st, so this is not like an early concept trailer. This is like, we're about to release this. Look at this. I'm frustrated.
I think that's probably what they're gonna go for. But I don't know that it's. I can see it bothering you a lot because you've always had that problem with different shows that have done that. The panel scenes. How much of it's going to be animated? I don't know.
This isn't even in that. I mean, yeah, like Scum's Wish, where they had like the panels fly on the screen. That's not even. This isn't that. This is worse. This is way worse. This is like, we're barely animating this.
Well, okay, I'm flat out seeing panel scenes, so it's obvious they're actually going for that.
Right. It's literally like a 2D 2.5 manga.
Yeah. Well,
Did you remember watching those? Crunchyroll had those for the longest time. They would take manga and they would just basically just flip through the panels and like zoom in and zoom out on the panels to make it into an animated video. This feels like that. And it's frustrating. It's like, why don't I just go read the manga? I guess for the voice acting. I didn't catch who was voicing the main guy.
Yeah. If it's him, it's
our
awesome.
If it's Brandon guy, then I'll probably totally ignore it. But it's like if it was Aoyuki for a female character, it would be like, yeah, sure, okay, we're fine now. I'm sorry, I complained. We're good now.
I don't know. This is gonna. This.
Yep, it is him. It's him. It is him. Oh my gosh. Kinjiro Suda. Yep, it is him. I gotta play this with sound.
I know. I almost want to as well.
Oh my gosh, dude. He's like totally my man crush. He's totally my man
You're
crush.
making me want to turn it on.
Like
This is not fair. I've got to turn on.
Oh my gosh.
I've got to turn it on. I've got to hear it.
I can't hear you when I'm playing it, so I don't really do it often, but I had to. Like, Kinjiro Suda is totally my man crush. Like, I just love his voice. He's, oh. All right, this just went up like, and then that's what's gonna make it more frustrating is that I'm gonna be bothered by that, but I'm gonna be wanting to love it, so I'm gonna have to force myself to ignore it. But I guess it makes sense because Backstreet Girls kind of did a similar thing. Now that I remember, so the director is basically doing the same thing with this one. So I guess we could chop it up as Chiaki Kon. That's his style. He likes to bring manga to life, and he likes to keep the feel of the manga. That's similar to the guy that did Scum's Wish and several others like it. They like to have the panels and just have the panels inside of normal stuff. So I don't know. I'm gonna love this no matter what. It could be basically just nothing but a 2.5 manga, and I'm gonna love it to death because of his voice. And he's the perfect Yakuza. Like, he pulls that voice off so much. Oh. Yeah. I might have this as like the outro for this episode for the podcast, so people can hear his beautiful, wonderful voice talking about Roombas and stuff.
I've got to.
He's yelling at a Roomba for not doing his job right.
I've got to rewatch this. I'm trying not to interrupt you and watch that at the same time. It's not working on my side.
He's yelling at a Roomba. He's posting on Instagram pictures of food. Oh my gosh, stop. I gotta stop. I love this guy so much. Oh gosh. Andrew's ultimate man crush. Suda. Love the guy. Yeah, that's gonna be. I gotta make a calendar entry for that. I am totally gonna watch that day.
We've been technically crushing on him since he first showed up on Gangsta. So
Brandon, was it Brandon? Was it his character on there? Yeah, he just the moment he came on scene, and it's funny. I need to look in to see if he was in something before then, and we just didn't.
I know we did.
But yeah, the moment that he walked in on that scene on that first episode when the guy was talking to the cop, it was like, oh my gosh, this guy's voice and the ability that he was portraying a deaf person felt real, and he was so like you feared him, you wanted to know more about him, everything within the first line, and I fell in love with it at that moment. So incredible. Sorry, I gotta stop man crushing.
I was gonna say, yeah, he was. I just we didn't recognize him, and we just when that one came out, that's when we really got stuck on him.
Yeah,
Nicholas.
Yeah, that's the way of the Househusband. Yeah, Nicholas. Definitely checking that out. If you guys are curious, I'm sure sometime April 8th I will have a review up to talk about it because I am totally going to watch that so fast. Another one I'm pretty excited for. I mean, I honestly want to say that Netflix is really knocking it out of the park right now because they have 3 shows right now that I'm super excited for. The second one, of course, is Yasuke. Yasuke is in a war-torn feudal Japan filled with mechs and magic. The greatest ronin never known, Yasuke struggles to maintain a peaceful existence after a past of violence. But when a local village becomes the center of social upheaval between warring daimyo, Yasuke takes up his sword and transports a mysterious child who is the target of dark forces and bloodthirsty warlords. The story of Yasuke, the first African samurai who actually served the legend Oda Nobunaga, will be released to the world. Unfortunately, we don't have trailers for this, and I really do want to see this in motion. It is MAPPA that's working on this, so I don't doubt it will be incredible. But the stills that we got, the screen caps they've released of it, look incredible. Yasuke looks just awesome. Like, just they're capturing like just his build and everything. He looks just awesome. It was funny because people were like, why are they pushing African Americans into my anime? And I'm like, Yasuke exists, dude. He was a real person, dude. He served Oda Nobunaga.
That does actually have a I just recognized exactly what you were talking about. That does actually have a clip out there.
Oh, there is a video footage. I said, all I could find was
it looked
screen
freaking
caps.
awesome.
But no, like I said, all I could find was like there was one video that I found because I was looking for one to put in the outline, and I literally found a video, and it's just them going through all the screenshots that they released. It's like, yeah, this is exactly the one. I just found it. It literally is just showing the screenshots. It's like, that's not a trailer. Are you coming to the rescue?
No, this one's not it.
Did you literally find the one that I was just talking about?
Yeah, I did. There's one out there that.
It's just art stuff.
There's an official trailer. Looks like. Come on, please be an official trailer. No, that's not it. I know I've seen one where
it's not out there. I'm telling you, it's not out there. If you find it, it was leaked or something because I have not seen it yet. But I want to see it. I found
one where he was ripping into some stuff, and it looked freaking awesome.
It's probably like Shamwai Champloo or what was it, the Afro Samurai or something.
No, and it's funny because going off of it wasn't until you started describing that main character and I was like, oh no, I have seen a video of that.
That's fine though. I can wait. April 29th is when it's releasing in its full entirety on Netflix. I think this is going to be a 7-episode one, so I don't think it's going to be a full length. I could be wrong.
They probably pulled it all down. It probably came out and then they started pulling the clips. I can see them doing that.
Why?
Because Netflix wants to keep it all to himself.
Oh,
okay. You know how,
yeah. You mean like a leaked trailer? You mean like a leaked trailer, not official?
Yeah, you know how they are about copyright crap.
I don't know what you mean. I'm not following you at all. At least they're not striking me like Sony did. Come on, at least they're not striking me like Sony does. And the last one we have for new series is Eden. This is kind of getting in the realms of Evangelion, which I will believe it when it's up because I think they said they were releasing this, I think in like early 2020. I think they even said they were going to release it. No, I think it was early 2020 is when they were originally supposed to. But of course, pandemic and all that stuff, so, give them a break. But yeah, Eden's supposed to come out. Again, that's done by Cubic Pictures. The thousands of years in the future, a city known as Eden 3 is inhabited solely by robots whose former masters vanished a long time ago. On a routine assignment, 2 farming robots accidentally awaken a human baby girl from stasis, questioning all that they were taught to believe. That humans were nothing more than forbidden ancient myth. Together, the 2 robots secretly raise the child in a safe haven outside Eden. Again, this is an original one being done by Netflix, or original for Netflix. And it's supposedly, according to AnyChart, they're now saying May. I didn't look for that confirmation, sadly, but yep, that's it. That's it for the new shows. Are you ready for some returning shows? Are you excited for the returning shows of the season?
There was 1 or 2 that caught my eye.
So we have My Hero Academia Season 5 is coming. Again, it's still being done by Studio Bones. Really excited for more Academia. I can't get enough of it. It is literally, I think it's the shonen right now that really is capturing. I mean, technically Demon Slayer, but Demon Slayer is moving at a very crawl pace for good reason. Ufotable is a very busy studio making trailers for mobile games. But Bones. I'm loving the release schedule that Bones has been doing for the series because they're keeping their quality just top notch, and so, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Another extremely exciting is How Not to Summon a Demon Lord is coming back for the second season. Isekai Mao to Shokan Shoujo no Dore Majutsu. Definitely excited for that as well. More ecchi fantasy isekai fun. Definitely the first season was by far like one of the best ecchi type isekai shows, just because of how, probably sound pervy here, but how good they do the ecchi. But yeah, excited for more of that. Definitely
It's
one of the more fun,
one of those
overpowered main characters.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those that you stop and go, it's about time that that's come back.
Yeah. Of course, we have the final season of Fruits Baskets. I'm extremely excited for this because I was starting to get burned out on Fruits Baskets. I was kind of getting to the point in the last season where I'm like, this kind of needs to wrap up. It kind of feels like it's spinning its wheels at this point. It's doing too much of this. Oh, this character recovered from their tragic past, and now they're going back into it. Oh, they've broken away from the bonds they had. No, they're going back into it, which it makes sense to the story itself. They're basically cursed by this, but I am looking forward to a resolution of this finally, and I'm so glad this got an entire adaptation. It's been a very beautiful, heartwarming show with some upsetting moments. Zombieland Saga's coming back. Finally, it's coming back, Chris. I was super excited for this. Zombieland Saga Season 1 was amazing. This is Zombieland Saga Revenge. So, definitely excited for this one. I don't think there's anything new in the synopsis. No, it isn't.
Yeah, that one is definitely another one of those that I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, definitely. Still being done by MAPPA, so that's another good sign. Sometimes they change studios that stick this. It's technically his original 4 studio, so I don't see them giving it to another studio. Shaman King is being redone. This is amazing. Now here is similar to before. I was super excited for this because I've always wanted to watch Shaman King. I think I've watched a little bit of it. I don't know that I watched a lot of it, and I always wanted to go back and watch it. So now it's getting a remake, and so I'm super excited for it. The big butt. It's Netflix. So we'll see it in 6 months. Oh, we're on a roll with Netflix right now. It's like they giving me these amazing things like the Househusband and Yasuke and Eden, and then trapping these shows. The Slime Diaries. We have basically a spin-off manga of Slime coming out called The Slime Diaries, and that will be on Crunchyroll, so that's exciting. Probably more laid back, version of it. Not really focused so much on the world. I'm not sure. I mean, it's technically already a comedy, so it's like making a comedy spin-off is weird, but
it seems like this is one that I've been kind of excited about watching. I'm hoping it's not going to be a short. I kind of just want them to be goofy and have fun.
It's not in the short area, so I'm assuming not. Yeah, it's not in the short area, so I'm assuming it's not a short. Yeah. It is one of those things where I'm assuming it's just a case where at some point some other mangaka within this publishing said, hey, I'm going to make a spin-off of this. And they made some little short stories on the side. And with the extreme boom of popularity of the Slime series, they went, adapt everything Slime related. We just adapt everything Slime related. No, what is interesting is, no, because Slime's not continuing. Slime is only a single core. I totally forgot about that. So this will just follow it up.
Oh, it's gonna be coming back.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not saying it's not coming back. I'm just saying this is a single core. I'm saying that it's not continuing into the season.
Not.
I thought they were gonna do like Code Black, where you're gonna have 2 of the same full-length show on the same season, but it's not.
I will personally go and stand in front of a building somewhere and demand that Slime comes back if they dump us off where we're at right now.
It's a cash cow. I doubt it. I doubt they're ever going to stop it anytime soon. That's like Hero Academia. It's like claiming that Hero Academia is ending. It's not going to end.
We're in a ridiculously bad spot right now.
So yeah, Slime Diaries. Check that out if you will. Chris should be excited. Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun Season 2. So we got
Yeah, it'll be nice to get back to that one and see what they have going on now.
Yeah, I sadly did not get back to finishing that one. So and with how crazy the next few weeks is going to be, I doubt I'm going to get time to get caught up on it.
Yeah, I seriously doubt it.
Unfortunate. I mean, there's like things like Lock Horizon that I still need to caught up on, so that's going to take priorities for sure. Slime I got to get caught up on. I just finally got Jujutsu Kaisen caught up on. Megalobox is coming back. Nomad. Megalobox 2. So that's exciting. Hopefully it looks a lot more gritty than the previous, so I'm curious as to what they end up going to do with this one. But we shall see. We have Moriarty the Patriot. This hurts me. This hurts me. This one hurts me so bad. Of the season that Moriarty the Patriot came out, was it fall, wasn't it? It was fall 2020. There was just so much stuff going on, like my move and everything like that, starting up the YouTube channel. The one show that I still to this day regret not finishing was Moriarty the Patriot. And now they have a season 2 coming. So I feel I really do need to get caught up, because I heard a lot of good things about the first season, and I thought that it was going to be really good based on the first few episodes that I've seen. So I do want to get caught up on this one. I'm going to try, but I'm excited for this either way. I'm glad I got a second core. Battle Athletes Victory Restart's coming back, or I don't know. It's listed as a sequel on AnyChart. Some people were wondering if it was going to be a reboot, but I'm sure Battle Athletes fans know. I kind of want to check this out. I want to say this is a reboot. I don't know. I'll look into it. I unfortunately didn't have time to really dive into this, but we'll see. But
I'm definitely curious of what this is about.
I want to say that I looked into some of the Battle Athlete stuffs before.
Is it just random sports, or are they actually battling each other and just it's using sports as kind of the...
I think it was the one that was... I think it was like a space... Yeah, it was like space sports. Yeah. Yeah, this is what I'm remembering it then. I want to say that I seen some of this a long time ago. Yeah, the first OVA was back in 97. I want to say that I watched some of this. Yeah, I totally recognize the character on the cover. Yeah, I am curious if this will be a reboot. Maybe I should just look it up right now. Because I want to say that we talked about this on a discussional, that this would be a reboot. Story restart. And I was kind of excited for it because of that. Just kind of a return to that old show. Funimation is a stream.
This show exudes nostalgia.
Yeah, it kind of has that old style to it.
Yeah.
And old storytelling, space junk. I mean, they were so back in the 90s, they were so like space junky with everything. It had to be space related. Manga features a completely new story for the 90s multimedia franchise Battle Athletes Victory in the science fiction sports action story set in the year 5100. Elite athletes from around the world solar system compete.
What's up with that, baby girl? She's all scratching her head.
Elite athletes around the world, around the solar system, compete to become cosmic beauty. The champion of a huge athletic tournament. The prologue chapter includes images and the new competitive. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, looks like basically a reboot, but not really a reboot. I don't know, a new reboot. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out then. It doesn't look like it's going to require you to have watched the previous stuff, so I don't have to rewatch anything. It's got to be this reboot because she does have the same style as the original character. Just going to be apparently a new story. So cool. It's not a remake. Technically, it's a reboot. So, definitely have to check that one out. And last one we have Yeah, the last one we have is Card Fight Vanguard Overdress. So another Card Fight Vanguard for the fans of that series. Cool stuff.
Maybe someday I'll get back to that.
I don't know if this is.
Doubt it.
I don't know if this is a normal thing, but they do list Clamp as being the character designs for this particular one. I don't remember that's a thing with the previous ones. But there you go. We have one short, and that is Yukiyuna wa Yusha de Aru Churoto. This one is being done by Studio W Tunes and DMM Futureworks. So, and this is based on a video game. I don't think that we, at the time when we talked about this on the discussion, we had any kind of idea of exactly what they were doing, but it's got Yuki Yuna, so I'm happy. It looks like Yuki Yuna in like different outfits too. Looks like an office worker Yuki Yuna. That'd be fun. See her happy. I just want to see Yuki Yuna happy. That's all. That's all I want. I don't ask for much. And like I mentioned earlier, we do have 3. Continue. I said 2. There's actually 3 continuing series from the winter 2021 season. That's So I'm a Spider, So What will be going 24 episodes. Back Arrow will be going for 24 episodes. And 7 Deadly Sins Dragon's Judgment will be going for 24 episodes. But it doesn't matter to us because that just means that it's going to take longer for us to watch it. I'm so sad because I loved 7 Deadly Sins, but the fact that it's basically a long-running shonen show that is releasing on a platform that is way delayed, it is absolutely frustrating, and it makes me it makes me not want to watch the series, honestly, which sucks. But it is what it is. It is what it is. And finally, we have. Let's look at the movies. And I think there was something in there that I want to look at. Scroll.
Kaguya-sama?
Yeah, there's supposed to be an OVA or something like that. We have a Fake Grand Order Camelot movie that's supposed to come out. We won't see it here anytime soon. Cider no Yu no ni Kotoba ga Waki Agaru is supposed to come out. Of course, we, again, won't probably see that for a while because that is a movie. The Sidonia movie is supposed to come out. I think that's the movie for the alternative ending for it, I believe. So that'll be exciting. The third Girls on Panzer film is supposed to be coming out. There's the Bang Dream ones from Zanzikin, so they'll be doing the Bang Dream movie for that group. Kaguya-sama Love is War is getting an OVA. Hopefully Crunchyroll will pick that up. It's an OVA for Danmachi Season 3. So hopefully, again, Crunchyroll will pick that up. Godzilla Singular Point. That was something I did want to watch as well. It's being done by Netflix. Hopefully that... I'm not sure how they're going to do that. I guess it's... Yeah. Godzilla Singular Point's probably going to be one of the ones where it's not a full drop. It's probably going to be a episode by episode basis, and we won't see it for another 6 months. So that's unfortunate. So an OVA for bottom tier character Tomozaki. There's an episode of Totama that we've been talking about for quite a while now. Unfortunately, only an episode. Yeah, I guess that's it. I thought there was something else in there. But, yeah. So, Chris, what are your thoughts? What is your picks for the best of excitement stuffs?
I don't know. I kind of started losing track of where I was, so
that's okay because I haven't even started, so it gives us both something to work on, I guess. Again, we usually don't kind of go for anything that's returning or sequel. Nagatoro is definitely up there. I'm not even gonna put the Childhood Friend Wins because it's probably gonna make me mad. I'm definitely looking forward to Vivy. Definitely Bishonen Taidan. That's definitely up there. I It's funny because I'm almost. You want to hear my gem? I wonder if Jouran, the Princess of Snow and Blood, will be the gem. just throwing that out there. Is that too easy? It just seems like the most wild card of this entire list. Because like I said, we can't say Bishonen Tentaiden is going to be a gem because it's Nichiyosen. Everybody's probably going to watch it. Unless they just don't realize it's Nichiyosen, I can totally see that. But of course, that's why people listen to us to note things like that. But I think there's going to be a group of people that are not going to realize that it is Nichiyosen. Unless people start just yelling from the tallest mountain. What do you guys got to be watching this? This is him. This is the Monogatari guy. This is Shaft. You should not be missing this.
The pretty boy one is the one that I definitely wouldn't have even considered the concept of it, and to have that up there, it's like it's so frustrating that because Saints Magic I definitely am excited about, and the House Hunting Dragon was another one that kind of came from left field. The concept of it is just great, and Full Dive, that seems fun. That one probably could be the one that I drop off the list. It's frustrating because I don't really like having more than 5 when I go into finalizing my list, and I've got 7 technically. Pretty Boy is definitely. I'm gonna put that as.
Yeah, I think with the Konosuba and Cautious Hero writers coming back, it kind of throws both those in a given. So that is technically kind of a frustrating thing because that technically does fill in my list really quickly with those two. And then you're throwing in Vivy and SSSS.Dynazenon. That's gotta be in the list. So maybe I'm gonna join you with like a 6 or 7 list. It can't be avoided.
I'm already seeing To Your Eternity dropping off my list because that one was one that there's only the fact that it's silent voice. That is the only reason I have that on my list.
And it's funny because I'm not as excited about it just because I already know the story. And I literally think it's going to stop at the island. I think that's where it will come to conclusion because I don't see them making. Oh, it's 20 episodes. Yeah, I guess no. I think the island would be basically about 20 episodes. I don't know. It could go past where I'm at, but I don't know. Why did this get the TV series and not a silent voice?
I can see the wolf being done in what? 4
the
episodes?
Wolf story is really no. I'd say probably 1 or 2. I can actually see
at all.
No, the very first story I can see being the first episode. I don't see it being more than 1 episode.
and that's the thing.
Now, when you get into the lizard boy, and not really lizard boy, but the lizard masked boy and all that stuff, that's probably more in the range of like 5 episodes, and then the island would be another probably 5 episodes. So yeah, it could get into a new arc.
To give everybody an idea, the wolf is literally what explains what the Beholder is, and
it doesn't explain the Beholder at all.
I stopped reading.
It doesn't explain the Beholder at all. The Beholder is just a being that's watching. It explains what the main character is.
The main character is the Beholder, isn't it?
No, the Beholder is the hooded guy that kind of watches him. Which I don't want. I'm being vague, by the way, people. So
that's fine. That's fine because I don't want you to spoil it for me either.
I was explaining to them.
I assumed that the quote unquote main character was the Beholder, because that makes sense for what the main character is. And that's it. Neither here nor there. So I only know of the wolf. I went through the entire wolf story and moved on to the next story. I did not go any farther than probably a chapter or two into the next story. And that's why I don't understand. I can see how short that first part would be, because it's not a long story at all.
It literally is an introduction, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have extreme excitement for it. Don't get me wrong, because I want to see if this, like I said, I wanted to re-spark my love for this series because I love her work. It's just I like I said, I just lost my interest waned at some point. I never went back to watch or reading it. But yeah, that with that in mind, that the fact that I do want to put it in the list, but I don't really feel that I have a huge excitement because I've read it. I am going to drop Nagatoro as well because I need another spot. And while I think that she's great and she's probably a lot of fun, I can't personally fit it in my list. It's literally my 6th, pretty much. So I have from my list, it's going to be SSSS.Dynazenon, being done by Trigger, same people that did Gridman, and I loved Gridman, so I'm going to love this, I'm sure. Combatants will be dispatched, and I also have Full Dive, so both of those are going to be my list because Konosuba and Higehiro creators, they are both great comic writers, and I'm probably going to love both of those. Now, granted, like I said, Konosuba failed with Kimono Michi, but I think this one's going to be a return to that similar feel of Konosuba, so I'm perfectly fine. Vivy, again, because of the ReZero writer, and the setting and everything looks incredible, so I'm totally on board with that. And then, of course, Bishonen Tentai, and it's definitely going to be on my list. It's Nishiyoisen, Shaft, Bakemonogatari, or Monogatari series director and everything. It spells that it's going to be something amazing, and I have to check it out, so that's my list. My struggled list.
Full Dive is the one that I think I'm going to go ahead and drop off my list. I'm going with Nagatoro, Slimes for 300 Years, Pretty Boys, Saints Magic, and House Hunting Dragon.
And then, yeah, I'm still excited for Tokyo Ravens too, by the way. I think that has a lot of potential as well.
Tokyo Ravens?
Revengers, sorry. Tokyo Ravens is coming back. Tokyo Ravens coming back. They're finally making another season of Tokyo Ravens.
This is huge news to me, and I thought you didn't like that show.
I dropped it pretty quick. I always wanted to go back to it. I think the fact that it was so later that I wanted to go back to it, and then realizing that since it had so much time passed and it never continued, I knew it was never going to continue, so I just kind of gave up. I think if it ever does come back, I might get caught up on it, but
I'm gonna put a full on if it becomes the surprise of the season, it'll probably be Eternity. But
To Your Eternity?
Yeah.
How's that a surprise? Everybody's gonna be watching it because it's the writer did the silent voice. I think if anything is a true gem is gonna be Jouran. There's something that Jouran and it's so funny because the first episode is going to be the telling thing on that. Jouran, the princess and of Snow and Blood. That first episode will tell me yes or no. Like, it's going to be all in how they direct that and what it looks like it's going to pan out to be. But I think if anything in this list that doesn't have either writer appeal, which, To Your Eternity and Full Dive and Vivy, there's so many shows in this list that are new coming that have a history. Even Dynazenon, SSSS.Dynazenon, I mean, it's Trigger. The only one that doesn't, I couldn't find anything that has basically a fan following that could have potential, is Jouran. So that's definition of gem for me. Now, Shadow House 2. Shadow House is another one that's kind of like right there. But I don't know. Either Shadow House or Jouran. I think it's going to be Jouran. Now, pick a show that doesn't have a huge cult following.
Yeah, Shadow House is definitely one that it's like I don't know anything about this one. This one will be coming from left field as well. I mean more along the lines of has potential. I don't know of anybody who talks about To Your Eternity at all. It's one of those that
I think a lot of people fell off like I did.
When Silent Voice came out and moved on, everybody was excited about it back then, and now nobody knows. And even the people, it
was a fall off.
It's hit and miss when it's like somebody will actually take the time to go, okay, what is this Silent Voice? And people like you or me or somebody who's actually read it and said, you don't understand. Go read the story. It's worth your time. And then whenever somebody does it, they usually end up being very hot on that writer. But To Your Eternity is one of those that, like you were saying, you get through a few chapters and then you kind of fall off because it doesn't hit that human element like Silent Voice did.
I mean, especially the second arc, like that whole village and the little girl and the masked boy. That was a really, really like emotional arc. It's just unfortunately when they went to the next arc, it just didn't have it anymore. It felt like a really weird tournament arc. Well, not really a tournament arc. It's just him going to basically a prison, and it just didn't really. And it was so kind of dumb how they kind of just stepped into it. Like it felt so forced how they went to the island, and it just never really captured me after that point. That was the point in which it felt like it lost its heart. And it almost felt like it was trying to be pretty kind of formulaic with what the story was telling, but I don't know. I just can't. I think people know what To Your Eternity is, and I don't think it's lost that fandom. I just think a lot of people probably feel the same way I did, and they probably fell off of it at some point. That's all I can think of, because there was a lot of talk at the time of like, here's her next work, here's this new great thing, and Crunchyroll was hitting on it hard too because it was on Crunchyroll manga. But I think, like I said, at some point it just, most people like me, I think, dropped off on it. So I don't think that it's unknown. But it very well could be that, they could re-spark that love. The adaptation could do it justice. I mean, we see that with Attack on Titan. I just don't think it's unknown enough to be called a gem, though. That's the problem.
Unknown.
Because whenever I think gem is unknown, like it's something that catches them off guard. But again, I think we had this discussion last time where you were talking about surprise hit and gem, and I'm like, that's the same thing. I'm calling it the same thing. Because we technically do call the Sin of Bookworm a gem every season. We know what it is, but it's our gem because nobody else noticed it, and it won't be recognized by the mass groups of people. They're too busy watching Jujutsu Kaisen and Netflix shows. Not that there's anything wrong with Jujutsu Kaisen. I think Jujutsu Kaisen's amazing, and it's incredibly has awesome action scenes. So I don't know. I just leave it at that. I thought Wit Studio was supposed to do To Your Eternity too. That's what was weird. Maybe I'm misremembering. Yeah, that's my most excited list for new upcoming stuff is definitely Full Dive, Vivy, Bishonen Tenkaichi, and Combatants Will Be Dispatched, SSSS.Dynazenon, and my gym. I think the most unseen thing that could be amazing is probably Jouran, the Princess of Snow and Blood. And possibly Shadow House, but we'll see. Did you already give your list?
Yeah, I think I did. Nagatoro, okay. Slime for 300 Years, Pretty Boy, Saint Magic, and House Hunting Dragon.
Pretty Boy? Bishonen Tenkaichi?
Yes.
Okay.
I
wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if you were talking about that other show that had the pretty boys in it that we were talking about. What was it? Yeah, Fairy Ranmaru. It could have been Fairy Manmaru. I mean, I don't want to judge. You did like that fairy boy.
See as how
you did it. You had
how I had a
You
lot
did
to say
not want to
about
stop
that one.
talking about it. You were very tsundere about it. You wouldn't stop talking about it, but obviously you liked it. Humph.
I technically did shorten Slimes for 300 years as well, so...
I think you talked more about Fairy Ranmaru than any other show in this episode. I think that was like, if I look at a time thing, that's going to be the one that you talk the most during. It's not a good sign, Babaka. But yeah.
We used to have somebody who actually broke all that down.
Yeah, infographics and stuff. Apparently we're in college infograph presentations and stuff at some point. It's like, I don't know if this is
That was
maybe
actually, it was actually
I wonder if that's
really
why
fun.
I wonder if that's why we got the following that we did. Like literally it was like college students all like swarmed to us and started listening to us, and that's where we got our big listenership boost, was college students at some point, because they were on a presentation in front of the entire class and then they all told their friends. That was the secret to our success is infographics at college.
A teacher assigning us to people to listen to.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, this is gonna be good for my next year. Can I use that, kid? I'm gonna use that for next year's lessons. And then from then on, every year he used the same infograph that they used that one year. Anyways, this has been running long enough. Wow, I think I'm having like some kind of stroke. So we should probably call it that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed our run through of this spring season. It's looking pretty insane. Definitely let us know what you guys are looking forward to in the spring season. What you think is the big gem. What is your top 5 that you are most excited about? Of course, we're excited for the returning shows. That's a given. Which is, like I said, we usually like to stick with the new coming shows. But yeah, I am extremely terrified because this is a lot of content to cover, and a lot of it I'm super excited for. And so it's like one of those things where, yeah, you can make the argument of like, slow down. You don't have to cover so much stuff, all those kind of arguments. But it's stuff I'm excited for, so I want to. I will, because I love it. But yeah, as usual, if you guys do want to follow that coverage, I will be covering, like I said, all these shows on our YouTube channel at Taku Spirit. And we will be doing a podcast to do our first impressions when that time comes around as well. And we do have our winter 2021 season reviews coming up here soon. That scares me again, but it's coming. Yeah. Cool stuff. Are you excited, Chris?
Yes.
Good. I hope you are.
I get excited a lot.
A lot of ecchi, dude. I totally did not mention that. There's a lot of ecchi coming out. We've had like a drought of ecchi for a while now. And now we have like what? We have a lot of ecchi shows coming up. So we have How Not to Summon Demon Lord. I don't know if that'll be ecchi inside of Slime Diaries.
Doubt it. It's never been.
Am I just misremembering? I thought we had a ton of ecchi in here. Yeah, the combatants will be dispatched.
About 4 or 5.
Full Dive was supposed to be.
Nagatoro is possible. I doubt Killing Slimes for 300 years will be.
No, I think this is gonna be Cute Girls and Cute Things. Maybe it's only 3. I thought that would be more than that. I'm misremembering.
Combatants Dispatched is marked as ecchi, and that came off as possibly ecchi.
Yeah, just Demon, Dispatched, and Full Dive. Okay,
Full Dive.
Still, 3 is more than most seasons. I think we usually just like maybe 1 a season. Like last season was just the wise man power guy dungeon only I can enter. Yeah, that one. But yeah, exciting stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed this coverage of the spring 2021 season. I know I already went through my outros, and I'm going to do it again because I totally forgot. As always, we appreciate our Patreon supporters for all their support, and for those that kind of let people know about us verbally. that support is equally as appreciated, because word of mouth is a great way to help us grow. But yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and as always, you take care.
Os.